Hey there, everybody. Welcome to episode 18 of the Absent Minded Podcast, recorded on this still too fucking hot for fall, September 30th, 2019.
I don't know. Today wasn't.
Yeah, it's actually cooling off, technically.
Technically, it's so. I checked the temperature today, 9 degrees with the humidity level that makes it feel like 99.
When it's like 82, we're going to be like, oh my God, it's so cold outside.
I think that was
Where's my jacket?
That was some Houston, Stockholm syndrome for you. You were like, oh, it's September 30th. It's going to be October tomorrow. It's cooled off a little. It's 90
No,
degrees.
just according to the actual
weather's
numbers.
Fine. That was Stockholm syndrome. With me today, as always, is Andrew Crandell at Andrew Loves Video Games.
Hey there, everybody.
And Ethan Newbolt at Souls Bjorn.
Global warming is real, people. Climate change. All right.
So we're doing something special today.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Small piece of housekeeping right off the bat before we get into the show. Our YouTube channel is finally being updated with some content.
Boom.
I'm getting back on track with the podcasts.
You lazy.
Hopefully by the time you hear this,
Sack.
the backlog will be uploaded. So up to episode 17 and then including 18. I'm hoping that I can have, when this goes live, every other episode will be up and then this episode will go live on YouTube at the same time as it goes on everything else, just like we were trying to do in the beginning.
Does it just take like a long time for YouTube to upload everything?
So YouTube's super buggy if I export through Premiere. Half the time it either errors out from a bug with YouTube,
Okay.
or it goes up and then it like gets stuck processing. So now I export to a file and then I upload it to YouTube manually, which is an extra step.
Yeah.
But at least it works every time.
Don't forget, you can't curse in like the first 30 seconds or else you get demonetized. So just be careful.
We're not monetized.
Just be
anyway.
careful for when we get monetized.
Oh, we swear all the time. I think we swore already in this episode? We probably did. I think
don't know.
within 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's 30 seconds. It's like
Okay.
the first 30 seconds or the first minute. You have to keep it clean.
Ethan,
I
this
didn't
is
know
your
that
new
was for
job.
UTAB. I heard
when
I-
we start every episode,
it
you
was for
start a
ads and
timer
stuff.
on your phone, and you just give me a thumbs up when I can say fuck.
That's a lot of responsibility.
I mean, he couldn't
It's
even remember
one job.
like what he got up for when he got up to go get the milk earlier.
Yeah, speaking of
milk.
getting milk,
I got up to get milk. I got milk.
today our opening topic, we're going to go into the mystery Oreo. We got some theories. I feel pretty strongly about mine. Ethan feels pretty strongly about his.
I don't really have an
I'm
opinion
not
on
really
it.
feeling
Andrew doesn't have an
strongly
opinion?
that they definitely have stumped me, but this is the
you feel
closest.
pretty strongly that I'm wrong. That's all you know.
I think you're too.
Maybe not.
I think your guess is just too you've narrowed it too close.
You've
to
got to
what
be
you-
specific.
Okay.
They're not giving the prize money, the $50K, to somebody that says it's cinnamon. There's cinnamon in there. I
don't know.
That's not enough.
I don't know. It's very cinnamony.
The snickerdoodle, that's pretty specific.
Well, okay. First, should we go into the taste test and then we'll talk about
That's
what we
fine.
think it is?
We've already tasted.
I mean,
them.
we've tasted them.
Yeah.
I am ready for
It's
one.
fine,
I'll,
yeah.
I'll take
Let's
it.
go for
I'll
it.
take an Oreo. I haven't had one in a minute. But yeah. So do you want to go first, or should I recap?
I'll go first because
okay.
I
give it to
don't
me.
have.
Ethan, do you
and
want
I'll
another
chew.
one?
I'm okay actually for right now.
I'll choose it.
I'm gonna have one in a minute though.
and
After we
choose
talk
so that I
about
can
them.
cleanly
Yeah.
edit out the crunchies.
So yeah, I had one when I first walked in. I went straight for him because I'm.
Oh, but you should try it. Yeah, with the
First
Teddy
of all,
Grams to compare.
Ethan loves a good mystery that doesn't involve murder or sex because you people are fucking disgusting. Like God,
What about Who's That Pokemon?
that's a good. That's
mystery.
a
Oh my
great
God.
clean mystery right there.
Love
Like
Who's
a
That
good
Pokemon.
Sherlock Holmes mystery. You know, like. So yeah, I jumped right into these bad boys. Cinnamon and sugar is right off the back. So I went like
Hold
cinnamon
on.
dulce,
Hold on.
and
I'm
then
sorry
I went.
to cut you off.
No, please, yeah, come in with your. Now again, remember, Travis, those are honey Teddy
Andrew got
Grahams.
the wrong fucking flavor of
I
I
Teddy
told you
Grahams.
those
fucking
are the
told you.
only ones there.
I've already said this twice because yes,
I'm very busy trying to get the show going at the beginning. I'm not always listening to the goings and comings of the room. You bought honey Teddy Grahams.
Those were the only ones there.
You go to another store. You had one job. I'm talking about how their cinnamon Teddy Grahams is what this tastes like, and you bring me a box of honey. This is useless.
They're still
These
good,
are
though.
useless
They're
to me.
still pretty good though.
But it doesn't. It's not.
Ethan looking on the bright side. Thank you.
I do.
God fucking
I
damn
love
it.
chocolate.
Do you
honey
have any
grams.
cinnamon sugar in your kitchen? Can I just sprinkle it?
So yeah, the honey gram test was ultimately a letdown. But again, after
Sorry.
directly going for the cream, separate from said cookie, which
That's what she said.
the cream itself is very like just pure cinnamon sugar, and then the cookie has like that sweet regular cinnamon you get from the Snickerdoodle. I think.
Yeah.
So my guess, Snickerdoodle.
Okay.
Andrew doesn't give a fuck about Oreos.
Now, do you think
What if it's,
Snickerdoodle matches up with the clues we have? Because we went over the clues earlier.
The clues are.
Have you been able to put that together?
I think
at
they're
all?
intentionally very vague and like super.
they're like riddles.
super mysterious. So I'm taking the riddles with a grain of salt. But maybe I don't know.
a grain of salt, or
Sugar?
a grain of sugar.
Grain of sugar.
Yeah.
You said Cinnabon at one time, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily Cinnabon,
think
but I'm
I
going
You're
to go
also
with
supposed to get me something from Cinnabon.
I
as
don't
well.
think I've ever
No, I
had
wasn't.
an actual Cinnabon.
I'm just going to go with more of a generic cinnamon roll.
Okay.
No.
The reason I think it's something more, because a lot of
You think it's more brand name?
Well,
I think it's
you think
branded.
it's the Snickerdoodle, right?
I do.
Hold on, hand me the Snickerdoodles.
Now,
I wanna
see,
try that.
again, I already tried that. Those Snickerdoodles are slightly aged. I think a lot of the freshness has
These are
left
not the
them,
freshest
Andrew.
of Snickerdoodles. That is true.
And I do think ultimately that comparison will be a failure.
Now, here's my problem with both. At first, I will say, okay, so
Now, before you say something, I'm going to say I'm going in with milk right now. Just
are you going to get the milk?
I'm gonna
test?
go in with the milk
See,
bite.
that could change a lot once you get the dairy in there. Now, my guess was the first thing that came. Well, not the first thing. It took some reflection. So I ate mine, and I'm sitting here eating. Obviously, there's a lot of cinnamon. I'm getting a graham cracker kind of flavor from the cookie because I went the whole 9 yards. I ate the
right.
frosting separate.
Okay.
I ate the cookies. Hold on.
no, I'm
Keep
agreeing. This is
reflecting.
all agreeing with you.
Okay.
There is a huge graham
It's
cracker
full
taste.
of graham cracker. That's why I don't believe the Snickerdoodle, and that's also what keeps me from saying cinnamon roll, because it's graham
Is
cracker.
graham
That
cracker
is-
just
yeah.
the flavor?
No, I don't think so. I think there's more to it than that. I'm just saying that when you have a cinnamon Teddy Graham, like these are graham cracker treats. That's the whole thing. They're Teddy Grahams. There's some graham cracker there.
Because when you do it with the milk, it's like it evaporates everything.
It mixes
but
down some of the sugar. Yeah, it keeps it blocks the sugar from your palate. It clears up your
They
mind.
do get kind of grainy with the milk, though. Oddly
bit.
enough, a little bit.
like a graham cracker. Now,
Hey.
so I ate it and I go back
Man,
to my
I
room.
really
I
wish
sit
we
down.
had some fucking cinnamon Teddy Grahams.
And I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm feeling nostalgic all of a sudden. I got nostalgia pumping through my veins, and I can't figure out why. And it's the aftertaste. And that's when Teddy Grahams pops into my head. And now I'm convinced it's the cinnamon Teddy Grahams. The only kink I have in my theory is that we've talked about this before recording. It's not cream in the center of this cookie. It's frosting.
I'm changing my answer to literal just graham cracker.
Okay.
Yeah, cinnamon, because usually graham crackers have a little bit of cinnamon sugar on
But
them.
I can't place the frosting.
The frosting is literally
It's too much of a change. If they just wanted it to be graham cracker, why fuck with the cream? Why make a
here's my
frosting
pitch.
instead of a cream?
All right, because for cinnamon rolls, because what do you put on a cinnamon roll?
No,
you
I
don't
know.
put cream
That's
on
what
it.
makes me think of it. Yeah.
You put a
Yeah,
fucking.
that's why I was thinking. Oh, and if it's
whatever.
not just cinnamon roll, it could also be because I think Cinnabon is another like brand
But
name
if you
that's
taste-
owned by like Yum Foods or something,
If
which
you-
is owned by
if you
like the
taste
people that own
just
Nabisco.
Right.
the frosting, just the cream.
frosting. Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's all just a cinnamon sugar flavor.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's not like a cream cheese frosting texture or anything. It's just like straight
Frosting,
sugary frosting, but like still cinnamon for sure. But it's something when you eat just the cookie, you take and that's another thing that's tripping me out too, and it's reinforcing
cookie
my
and the
theory.
frosting taste different.
When you do the twist on this, you can like surgically remove the frosting layer from both cookies without leaving a trace. Even the cream, there's like a hit, like it's like a layer. It's like you need the Goo Gone stuff when you like open up a
These are all
CD for the
facts,
first time. It's
people.
got the sticker on there or whatever. There's like the sticky residue left over. The frosting, no residue.
Yeah, just
I feel
clear.
like it was intentional to highlight eating the cookie by itself and showing off the graham cracker flavor.
Ooh, that's
I'm
some
telling
deep
you, man.
theory shit.
So
And again,
segue.
Nabisco Teddy
Yes,
Grahams is a Nabisco
yes.
cookie, so they don't have to have some.
That's why I'm not laughing at your
Because when they did
answer.
the Fruity
That's
Pebbles,
that's a good answer.
So the Mystery Oreo from 2018, it was a Fruity Pebbles flavor,
Oh,
but it wasn't
okay.
named Fruity Pebbles. It was like Fruity Flake thing
Sure.
or something because it wasn't a branded
Got it.
collab. With Teddy Grahams, a cookie that's looking for a comeback. I think.
Is it?
I think so. Teddy Grahams throughout history has had moments in time.
I think the fact
where
that
it's
they're
become
still,
like a thing of pop culture.
I think the fact that we don't have kids don't give us enough.
Check the Wikipedia. Check the Wikipedia, Drew. Blew my mind. There's a there's a Nabisco conspiracy going on right now where they are trying to lift the star power of the Teddy Graham with their friend, the Oreo cookie, Milk's favorite cookie.
Thank you.
Quite possibly America's favorite cookie.
I do like that slogan. I think that's been a great slogan.
I'm thinking it's Teddy Grahams, dude. And
I think that's a solid answer.
Like this, Drew.
I think it really, honestly, the cinnamon Teddy Grahams might have changed this whole game because we could have just been like, yeah, that's fucking it.
You could have run into a Valero. I guarantee you they got like a little snack size bag of fucking cinnamon Teddy Grahams. Anyway, enough of that.
You buy them on Amazon?
So
bet you can.
Have I won
Can
you
we get
over
him
with my,
delivered
is
by
this
the
a
end of the
Final
episode?
Fantasy 16 moment where you think it could be it?
I mean, I'm sticking with my answer of just
Snickerdoodle.
No,
it's good for us to have two answers out there.
I'm changing it up to actual just graham cracker.
Okay,
because I
make
think,
sure you put your entry in.
And I think they've just maybe overshot the cinnamon sugar a little bit with the graham cracker because they were trying to get that taste and they maybe just kind of went too deep and they were like, oh, it's too late.
Well, you can get graham crackers that don't have any cinnamon.
Yeah, but why would
the plain graham cracker?
Why would you want those?
Because they're better with cinnamon. Oh, you say why would you want the regular one?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. With all that cinnamon in there, there's no way that it's graham cracker alone.
I think both my answers are solid, but yours is also valid. Like I'm not thinking mine are better because yours is a good answer, especially with the whole Nabisco thing.
Yeah, you did some research.
I mean,
I did do some
kinda,
research.
it's a common knowledge that
I'm gonna
Nabisco
stick with,
owns
cinnamon roll.
most cookies.
Did you know that Nabisco owns DiGiorno?
That makes sense.
They own a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Some of those corporations like that are huge conglomerates.
They are.
Yeah. They like to say that they're not, but they are.
Now, if this is your first time listening to the Absent Minded Podcast,
Have we already gone that far past
each and every week on Friday at 10 a.m., we go live with a brand new episode where you get to hear us talk about the mysteries in the cookie industry, but mostly video game news. And sometimes comic book news and comic book movie news and stuff about Spider-Man. Which we'll talk
Some
about
other pop culture stuff.
Yeah, whatever the fuck we feel like talking about because we're just nerdy as shit. And you know, we have what's that called? A brand. We're
have
all
a great
on brand
brand.
on that.
I'm saying like if you
head on over to absentmindedpodcast.com, you can always find those latest episodes of the main show and our side show, Absent Minded Watches, where we're currently reviewing every single video game film that's ever been graced with a theatrical run.
It's a good show.
There, you can also leave us a voice message with a question, comment, or topic of discussion that we might even play on the air. And you can also donate $1, $5, or $10 via the listener support program. And while you're there, you can also find all of our handles and information about where we are on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, where you can like, subscribe, and share the podcast on all your platforms of choice. Now I got to throw the YouTube info in there. I got to put that in there as well, so you can find the YouTube channel.
Do it, man.
I got to go update the page. Yeah.
Is our YouTube channel just Absent Minded, or is it Absent?
No, it's Absent Minded. Channel ID equals 1ZXY1W972.
You don't get that fancy name till you're verified.
Takes a while to takes a few subscribers. So if you want to get us an easier URL, you got to subscribe to that channel and share it to your friends.
But the good thing about YouTube is that you search your main name.
Yeah, I got a butt ton of tags.
Most of your
I'm
stuff
tagging the
pops
episodes.
up.
Yeah, so you'll be able to find us on YouTube.
Also,
with that
that's a
new
great
Let's
thing.
Play and all that good stuff.
That's the great thing about YouTube is people are kind of just browsing shit all day long.
Oh yeah.
Just wait. For
Oh
that.
wait, did I actually say what
No,
Let's Play we did?
I don't
Not
think
yet.
you did.
I think we
yet.
went on a tangent.
No,
Yeah.
not yet.
Yeah.
You didn't say it, but you mentioned.
So on the YouTube channel, we have our first Let's Play.
Very
finally up.
first Let's Play.
Andrew and I play I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator.
It's a shit game.
It was
It's a shit game.
it was fantastic. I'm going to say that.
It was a bit more involved than I thought it was going to be. Drew and I, in typical fashion, because we've done so many of these, I don't know why I said typical fashion, in our introductory fashion, decided to basically handle this like a table read.
Yeah.
And we just picked which characters we were going to do
No, we
and
switched
came
off
up with
each character.
characters and voices and shit.
So most people do it.
Yeah.
Travis's Professor Doggo is quite fantastic.
Yeah, I do a good Professor Dog, I think. I do a good Professor Dog. What does that mean? Why is there a dog professor in the Let's Play?
You'll just have to tune
You'll
in
have to go watch it.
and find out.
Let us know if you like it too, because I put a part 1 with a question mark.
Yeah, because we're not
gonna
sure
go
if
back to
we're going to keep doing it. So, yeah, watch it and let us know if you want to keep it
Plenty
listening
of
to
other
us do
dating
silly
simulators
voices.
that we can play. I'm sure
Yeah, but not all of them are quite as sexy.
I'm sure that the Daddy Dream boys,
Dream Daddy?
they're going to come out with
Dream
a sequel
Daddy Simulator?
soon.
If we're gonna do that, we got to do Hotafo Boyfriend.
No, I've put all the time I'm ever going to put into Hot to Full Boyfriend. I think that ship has sailed. Now, guys, one of the part of the podcast where we talk about what we've been playing this week.
Yep.
What we've been doing. Drew,
Oh, okay.
you
Yeah.
started Oxenfree.
Yeah, Oxenfree.
After seeing
You
the,
suggested it to me because it's made by the same people that are going to do After Party.
Yep.
And whenever After Party was announced, I was super down for it. For people that don't know, After Party
Super down.
is a game where you play two best friends who die, and then you go to hell, and you have to beat Satan and demons and a bunch of drinking games in order to escape hell.
So apparently that is the loophole when you die, is that there is a clause when you die that if you can beat the devil in a drinking game, you get to be what? Reincarnated? Just
I don't know. I guess we'll have to play the game to find out.
Well,
no,
they even
that,
have something similar in like
that
Bill
is
and
it,
Ted.
though.
Like in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. They
Did they
play
really? I
him.
didn't
Well,
see
they
that one
don't.
in a
It's
long
not a
time.
drinking game. They play tic-tac-toe or something. I can't remember what they do, but they challenge the devil to a game. And I think it's just in general, it's a game
in the golden
challenge
fiddle
him.
style.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
you're able to beat him in whatever game, then you get. If he accepts, though, he doesn't have to accept.
But in this
'Cause
world,
he's
I think
safe.
it's like a pub crawl and a drinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with him. Yeah.
It's made by the same people who are going to make that After Party. Oxenfree, man, it's just, I hate you. I really fucking hate you for how well you can pinpoint games that I'm going to like. And it makes me fucking pissed off. I remember starting this game and I
take
just
pride in
angry.
that, man.
And
I take pride in
I
it.
know, you should, but I'm just
It's not just you. I like to try to figure out what everybody likes.
I know, but it's just like I'm starting this game. So basically, the game starts out, and it's these group of teenagers going to this party or going to this island to go party and have a good time, right? It's very story driven, and so as like the conversations go on, you play as this blue hair girl named Alex, and you're going to the island with her new stepbrother and I guess her best friend Ren. And I can't remember what the stepbrother's name off the top of my head is. But yeah, you're going there for a party and everything. And so as like the conversations evolve, you get like these 3 dialogue options. Each one gives you like a certain option. It seems like X
They're almost
is...
like a comic book dialogue bubbles.
Yes, thank you. Speech bubbles.
Yeah.
And they appear above Alex's head. And I think, the right... in general fashion, like the one to the left is the more kind answer. The one on top is more of a neutral. The one on the right's more kind of aggressive.
Your Mass Effect style.
Yes.
Are we going Renegade or are we going, what's the other one in Mass
Paragon.
Effect?
Paragon, yes. Yeah, we're going Renegade or Paragon.
life.
Paragon.
But yeah, as the conversations go on, you get your own dialogue options to, how to choose to respond and everything like that. And a little complaint about it was like I was so interested in the conversations themselves that sometimes I would forget to choose an option.
Oh, that's just classic. Like that happens a lot with the Telltale games for
Really?
sure. Because is this one? I can't remember because it's been a while since I played it. So the conversation, the options are on a timer, right?
Yes.
And then I think even like being silent is an option. As far as
really?
Yeah, like
well, yeah, I guess
they'll
that is
respond
because it's
differently
not
if you
like-
just like don't say anything
Okay.
to your character. And I remember having that issue a lot with Telltale games because you get plenty of scenes where it's like, yeah, that's just like the scenes happening and stuff that you're so invested in. And you're like, oh fuck, I'm supposed. Like,
I'm supposed to answer this right
you're
now.
You're watching it almost like a movie, and it's like your character is part of this wider story. And sometimes you forget that like you're an active participant in it. But I think that does speak to the quality of writing in some of these games.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely immersive, and I'm totally into it. But as you get on the island and you're talking about the party and everything, and you get to this one secluded part of the island, we're on like a beach, right? And you meet 2 other people. It's this girl that Ren has a crush on, and then this other girl, Clarissa. And Clarissa explains how much of a bitch she is.
Does she explain it all?
That was the joke.
She just explains being a bitch.
Some more stuff happens there, and like one of the gameplay mechanics is that like you have this radio and you have to tune into different frequencies on the island to solve like certain puzzles. You and your stepbrother go into this cave because there's this weird crazy pool in there, and so whenever you go into the cave you notice like this triangle above you, and I have to say whenever he first pointed it out I was like, where? Then you use the radio to tune into like the frequency of the triangle, and that causes it to like shoot a line out, and then you have to go find the frequency for that other line, and then it basically like forms a triangle, and then like once that happens, like that's when the weird shit starts to happen. Yeah, from there it's just you're off to go find your friends. I'm really interested in the story. I was playing it before you guys got here, and that's probably what I'm going to play after you guys leave.
Yeah, I think when you pulled up your map, it didn't look like you were maybe more than 30 or minutes or an hour into it or so. 'Cause
Yeah.
a lot of the map was still pretty grayed out. Yeah, I remember liking it quite a lot. It's a pretty quick playthrough. It's definitely like a weekend game. Like you can easily beat it in a couple days.
Yeah, definitely. But then also, I finally beat Gears 5 this past weekend. I will say the most fun I had in that game was the beginning and the end.
Like a season of The Walking Dead.
Yeah. The middle was pretty forgettable. The story was kind of meh because you're playing as Kate and you're searching for answers about like what happened to your mother and everything like that. Then you come to find out that
They're still trying to figure that out. That whole plot line starts in the beginning of Gears 4 because that's still where I was at when I quit playing recently.
Yeah. Well, it's more about like your like how she was involved with the Hive or whatever they're called. I forgot.
The Hive.
Spoiler alert, you're like part of them. You've been part of this experiment by this guy, to like try and control them and enhance the enemy creatures.
Well, thanks for spoiling the game for me.
Yeah.
Since I was still playing through those games.
Oh, sorry.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, the two middle parts were like, open world, explore out the world and everything. And it just felt unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because, when you're traveling on the skiff or whatever, to each like little objective or anything, like the fun of those games was just like, going from one intense battle to the next, while this skiff thing just kind of drags everything down.
It's interesting you said that because one of my complaints about when we were talking about this either last week or the week before was that I get tired really quick of the Gears formula of going from room to room to room where it's just more bad guys that are going to pop up and there's not a whole lot of variety in the exploration and everything.
Yeah.
But so you're saying the skiff doesn't really fix that problem. If anything, it just kind of slows down what would otherwise be at least a quickly paced game.
Yeah.
That it doesn't help the pacing at all.
Yeah, because you hate going from battle to battle to the next. Imagine having to travel, 5 minutes to the next
5
battle.
minutes to the next battle.
Yeah.
Good point. So, what's your overall, if you had to give it a score, what's your ranking?
7.
How does that come in against your other Gears games?
I would say it's the weaker of all of them.
Really?
7 seems kind of high.
Damn.
I liked Gears 4. But yeah, I just think, the open worldness aspect, I feel like it dragged it down.
Yeah.
So
I don't know that 7's high because it's one of those things where it's absolutely a competent game.
Sure.
It's not buggy. It runs great. It's gorgeous.
there were some random frame drops, but
Oh, really?
yeah. Just some random stutters here or there. Never really in like any combat heavy situations, but like say you're like into like some really detailed area, it would just stutter for like a second.
Gotcha.
As to where like I remember whenever I first started playing Gears, I messaged in the Slack. I was like, "This game is beautiful. This is up with God of War, like Spider-Man level shit." And it's just little details like that tell you it's not.
Yeah.
So I feel like I totally rambled on there.
No, I mean, we asked you how you felt, and these are your feelings, and they're valid, Andrew. They're
Certainly
valid.
not talk longer than Travis has sometimes about
There you go.
things he's passionate about. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I'll never apologize for
okay.
that.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I played Untitled Goose Game.
God damn it!
Honk, honk. Yeah.
I
That's more like Mars
wing
Attacks.
flap.
This
Yeah.
was the next game I wanted to do for our Let's Play.
Oh, we can still do that. I actually don't mind because I haven't finished it.
Okay.
It's funny because like I booted this up the other night because I want something kind of goofy to play
Yeah,
before
yeah.
bed or something, I guess. And I played
Get
it
a
for
few lulls.
maybe an hour, maybe not even a whole hour.
Okay.
And when I was done with it, I deleted it.
Oh.
I was like, I don't get the hype around the game. I don't know why. It's one of those things where you're like, it's all the whole industry. They're all just like buddy, and everyone's going to talk about the same game and hype
is
it up
true.
because
It's
they're
the
like they
same.
really like the guy that works at this developer or something. And
It's the same thing as like I Am Bread though. It's just
I didn't play more than I Am Bread for more than like 30 minutes.
exactly. It's
Or
not like
Goat
That at least
Simulator
has
or
like
something
some
like that.
challenging challenges. Yeah,
it's just like a
it's a meme stream game, I guess I would say.
I
Yeah.
mean, not even that, but it's just like an easy, simple, fun game. I don't know, like it's
First
on the
off,
Switch, right?
We played I Am Bread. That game is not easy.
Yeah, I Am Bread was pretty
What
difficult.
is
That is an
I Am
incredibly
Bread.
difficult game. You don't know what I Am Bread is?
I Am Bread was kinda
It's a
difficult.
game where you play a slice of bread. And you have
With sentience.
You control the bread with like your triggers. And
Okay.
so you like each trigger controls one corner of the piece of bread. And you're trying to do stuff like
It's like a grip
from
game.
like from the cutting board to like the other side of the kitchen. Or like you have these weird tasks you're supposed to do. And it's you remember that game Octodad?
Yeah.
It's like up with Octodad and like horrible to control games just because it's so frustrating what
Yeah.
you're doing. And it's just you'd have to look up some videos of it.
Okay.
It's fun to
pretty
play.
funny, yeah. It's a fun game.
incredibly difficult though. That's why I was like, Untitled Goose Game is not that game.
I feel like-
Untitled Goose Game's like
feel it's
kind
more
of
for kids,
kind of
kinda.
smaller puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
But when I woke up the next day, I was like, shit, I want to reinstall that game.
Oh,
Like there's something about
you
it where
back.
I kind of like wanted to keep playing.
It's good, wholesome. Like just
I
kill
think
a
I
few
was-
20 minutes.
I think I was in a weird mood that night. I don't understand
Travis
exactly
just
what
went
it
to bed
was.
bitchy. He was like, meh.
No, I wasn't bitchy, but I was like, I don't know. It's just I wish Switch games had trophies. I just wish there were
don't have
trophies
trophies?
on the Nintendo Switch. No, there's no trophy system. There's no achievements. Nothing. I know. It's weird.
But what do you
How do you know
play
that
the
you're
game?
enjoying
You just like
the game?
play the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
But how do you know if you beat it?
You
Credits will
end
come
credits, yeah.
on, and maybe you have like a percentage number in your save file.
Go
Yeah,
all the
some
way.
cool end theme song.
Go all the way to the credits.
I know some of my favorite games are the ones where you can platinum them before finishing it.
Like
I've
what?
only played like two. One of them was like some RPG I played not long ago. Where, yeah, you could get the platinum, like you can pop it during the last boss fight, but then you don't actually have to like finish the rest of the
Oh my
game.
god!
yeah.
Then you
Like,
just
you
like
can just-
buy.
Delete that motherfucker without ever actually completing it because
Yeah.
I can't think of what it was off the top of my head, but there's like two that I've done that
That's
are like
funny.
that.
So how are you like in Three Houses still?
Still really enjoyable. I don't know how many more hours I've put into it since last episode because we're recording on our normal time this week.
Yeah,
Last week we recorded on Wednesday.
yeah. We record a couple days after.
And we came out here to do the Let's Play. So that was one of my gaming days gone.
Right.
So really, I think only really got to play it yesterday.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still really good. I'm finally getting to the point in the upgrade system where I'm having to think about which classes I want to make which characters and telling them, no, fuck you. You're not going to learn this. You're going to learn this because I need one of these now. And trying to figure out who I want to recruit to like
Right.
fill out my team a little more. But I did look up how many chapters there were. And I think there's like 22 total in
So how many
the
are
one
you
I'm
in right
playing.
now?
I think I just hit 8.
Okay.
So I'm further in than I thought, honestly.
So what level are your
based on the
characters so
length.
far?
I think your player character is like either level 18 or 19 now.
Okay.
And then a couple of my players that seem to like characters that seem to get a lot more use are similar in that level. And then my lowest one is like level 12.
Okay.
I think she's a little
Yeah.
behind.
So you're about like maybe 20% through.
That's not how math works.
don't
I'm a
know.
little more than a third of the way through.
Okay. Excuse me. I'm terrible at math.
Like I said,
That's
8 out
hard.
of 22, a little more
That's
than a third.
hard.
Math is not
Okay.
that hard.
Oh, I thought you said like 26 or something. But even then, that wouldn't be right. I don't know.
No, yeah, it's still really good. Like I said, the story's finally opening up a little bit. One thing I do love so much about this is each of the characters has like a support rank between each other. So it like you gain support by either
Talking to each other.
yeah, in like the explore mode. Well, not just talking to each other because these are characters besides yours. Like
Oh no, I know what you mean. I
be-
played the.
Yeah, well, it's been
yeah.
so long since I played Fire Emblem. I don't remember all the deeper
Okay.
systems, but
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
basically,
when
like
you're
two
ex-
characters have a relationship together.
Yeah.
and like if they're next to him in battle, then it increases like their stats or something like that.
yeah, that's one way. And then also, there's also when you're in the explore mode, there's little things you can do. Like if you go to choir perform or practice with somebody, you can pick 2 other students, and their bonds will go up.
Oh, that's cool.
Each week you have goals you can assign where it's like, oh, I want you to go clean the stables or something, and then that gives them more riding experience, and then it also helps their bonds grow between the 2 people you pick. Or if you like take someone to lunch or something like that, little things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
There's some really good cutscenes between these characters. Like they're all full. It's fully voiced, and like each character has its own story with another character. And then I have there's 8 people total in my class right now. So each one of them has a full 4 ranks of story cutscenes that you can get between just those 2 characters.
That's really cool.
Which is awesome because of how much it fleshes out each of them individually.
Yeah.
Because you might, Ferdinand might be able to rank up with Bernadetta and Edelgard. And so he'll go and have a conversation with her or a little event scene, and then another one with the other character. And then also, of course, you have scenes with as your player character with all these other people in your house. And so it's really gratifying, trying to be oh, I love these 2 characters. I want to make sure that they're doing things together so I can get more story scenes with those 2. And of course, these have benefits in your actual battles where they'll back each other up
Yeah,
more often,
yeah.
or if they're perpendicular to you on the field, you might get a stat boost for that turn or whatever. Little things like that. But I'm definitely enjoying that. And then it's one too where I wasn't expecting how involved some of their stories are, because I got rank C with everyone pretty quickly. That's the first rank that you can unlock.
Yeah.
And those are pretty superfluous conversations. Like they're interesting, but there's nothing a whole lot going on.
Yeah, they're not very deep, surface level.
And now like with Bernadetta, I'm like, she has like horrible crippling anxiety that she's dealing with all the time, which is why she's always a shut in and all these.
What kind of class is she?
So she starts out with bow and lance.
Okay.
I've been wanting to make her a sniper because she was the only person I had that was
Snipers were
proficient with
always
a bow.
like some of my favorite characters.
Oh yeah, and she's one of those that is like, she's one of my only people that's not my main character that's like level 19.
Oh, nice.
Because she gets so much use because again, long range attacking and stuff.
And she can still defend herself with a lance if she gets attacked or something.
Well, she's not really. I don't have a lance on her.
Okay.
I do have her defense skills pretty buffed up too because you don't want her to be a glass can or anything.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, because people will go right after her because she's a ranged
Exactly.
character. So she
That
tends
was
to
one
like
thing-
draw aggro a lot.
Yeah, whenever I played like the first Fire Emblem on Game Boy Advance, it was just like if you had like a single cleric, like they were always going after
Yeah.
it, and you always had someone protect her.
And I got like this accuracy ring accessory for her, so like she never misses. It's one of
Oh,
those
nice.
shots like you could be across the field, use this Deadeye move where it drops her hit chance to like 20%. I've never seen her miss with it since I put this fucking ring on. So she is super OP.
Just deadly as
Where,
shit.
yeah, it's at the point now where unless it's like some super armored dude, like I can clear out most of a match with like just my 3 main characters, and everyone else is just like behind, like trying to catch up. And I have one dude who's like a horse lance now or whatever, or
Paladin, I think.
no, it's
I forget what they're called.
I can't think of what it is, but basically he has a horse and then he's still like a lance master or whatever, so he can travel twice as far as everyone else, and then after he attacks he can move a second time. And
Have you messed around with oh god, what are they called? The people who ride the the winged horse, the winged horses. I can't remember.
oh
what
yeah,
they're
I know
called.
what you're talking about. I have someone I'm training in flying to try to get to that point.
Pegasus.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
God damn
My only
it.
problem with those is I don't have a whole lot of people that I've been training up on lances, and now that I've looked at the future classes and stuff,
Yeah.
a lot of them are ones where it's like, oh, lance and riding or lance and flying,
And you're
I'm
like, that's what I'm gonna do with
man,
you.
I don't want to do lances though. But then like because Bernadetta, what I'm aiming for is I want her to have like bow mastery and then have like the flight mastery, but it's not to like her 4th or 5th class upgrade where I can finally make her do that.
That's cool. Wait, so can you have her like fly on like a Pegasus and like have her shoot people?
Yeah, but she'll still have her bow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So she'll have flying and then also ranged attack.
That's cool.
Yeah, which will be super fucking OP.
Hell yeah.
But that's where I am now. Is I'm planning classes for the future and trying to decide who I want to recruit from other houses to like kind of fill out those ranks, because I'm finally getting to the point with my character where her stats are high enough that I can start wooing people from other classes. And yeah, it's just been very enjoyable. There's so many side activities to do. The more I play, the more it does remind me of Persona, where you have anytime you have like your free time during the week, there's so many ways you can take advantage of it. Like I spent 20 minutes
you don't
doing
have
a
to go in
fishing
the
tournament the other day
exactly.
where I was just like, I just got a bunch of bait and just started fishing and got like a bunch of super rare fish that I went and sold off so I could upgrade everyone's weapons and everything. It's just a very in-depth experience. It's very enjoyable. I think this is the perfect like long form RPG that's going to get me all the way to Death Stranding. So that once that comes out, I'm good. I have something to keep me busy until then. But besides that, those are really the only 2 I played. I played we actually both played this, Ethan. This is going to be part of your list too. We tried out the medieval.
Oh, I played that as well.
Short-lived demo.
Did you also try that?
Yeah.
What?
I played it just before I went to pick you up. Like I just finished it. Like turned off the PS4, went and grabbed you.
Let's go into what I played, because that was one of them. And
Okay,
it ain't
and then we'll
very
talk about
much.
Medieval afterwards.
So yeah, no, Medieval is what we're going to talk about.
Oh, is that the only thing you played?
No.
Oh, well then.
But it's one of the major things
how's
that I
World of
played.
Warcraft Classic doing?
Shut up! That's not what even I was going to talk about.
Got him.
You jerk. But yeah, I played the Medieval demo.
Trailer,
yeah,
it felt like a
demo.
trailer.
Yeah, it felt like
It's
a trailer.
about as long as a trailer.
It was pretty lackluster. I
It's
think,
exactly what I thought it was.
It was very
it's
much-
literally the first level of the game.
but I mean,
It's exactly what I expected. I was fine with it.
where was the end of it though?
When you walk out of the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
It's the first level of the game. I only know this because I played the PS1 version literally just a few months ago on my PSP.
it's only like a small boss.
I mean,
or something.
PSV.
I don't know, to show like
It's just there's just not a boss in that first
even
level.
half of a boss fight to like that ends in the middle to get
It's
me
a
hyped.
fucking demo, man.
Yeah, but
Of a remake of a PS1 game.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Medieval in general is not that long. Like if they put a boss in the demo, you've played like a quarter of the game.
I don't know. It looked really nice. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna buy it now. I'm glad
because there wasn't a boss in the demo.
No,
or because
it just like honestly the gameplay like wasn't really like the blocking and the hacking and slashing. Just I mean,
it's very authentic to the original Medieval, almost to its detriment. I think
it's
I
a little bit. You feel like they could have tightened up a little bit of the controls.
Yeah. Like the lock on and the camera like weird, and then you go into that what's his name? What's his like actual name?
I forgot.
It's something
Sir Daniel.
It's like
Dan's view.
Fuck, what's his last name?
Something. It's weird. I can't remember.
Fuck. I should know it. I literally just played the game.
But yeah, like Sir Dan's view or mode, and it's like that
weird
over the shoulder.
Fortescue? Hold on.
Yeah, something like that.
Medieval.
Fortesque or something. Yeah, Fortescue. That sounds about right.
Fortet.
But yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't really that impressed. It was cool. It looked
Sir Daniel Fortescue.
Yeah, it looked really nice, and like the voice acting.
The visuals are very impressive.
Yeah,
it's nothing that's gonna like be like, oh, best looking game of 2019.
No.
But it's funny how far we've come, where it's just like where it's such a like here's a baseline of what something that's going to be PlayStation exclusive looks like.
Yeah, like I could play
just
Dark Souls
the engines
3
and the tools
and have like
stuff.
a better experience in my book. Like
well,
that's
no
okay.
Shit, they're not the same kind of
games. Yeah,
sword, shield, bad guys, zombies, like
hacking
and slashing.
I even saw a couple of fires.
Yeah, I mean it's basically the same. It's a hack and slash, and if I want that, I can go get it somewhere else.
I'd more compare it. It's like an action platformer.
Yeah, I'd more compare it to like a Spyro game than anything.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I think that's what's funny too is that because Spyro came out remastered so recently, we're remade. So did Crash Bandicoot and Medieval. I think this is one where, if anything, this goes to show that maybe this game is not of that caliber, even from back then. It's a decent platformer for its time.
There wasn't a lot of platforming, honestly.
Well, not yet. Well, there are. There's actually quite a bit if you decide to look for it, because there's
honestly,
from the first level, there's a lot of hidden stuff and things.
I mean, I got the hidden chalice thingy and all the like.
Well, that's platforming. And also, it's the first level.
Like in the first level, I would not even say that was a platformer. Like it just didn't feel like a platformer.
Well, it's not a true to form platform. It's got platforming elements, but it's also like an action adventure game.
Well, even if you think about like Crash Bandicoot, like what about that makes it a platformer? You jump over things. There's holes in the ground. You jump over them. You jump from thing to thing to thing.
Yeah, but you wouldn't call
Spyro has platforming elements.
But there's a lot of platforms.
I don't think you would call Crash Bandicoot an action adventure game, would you?
No.
Yeah,
it's a platformer.
It's an action game.
It's a platformer.
Not a whole lot of venturing going on.
Yeah.
I think Spyro is almost more the adventure side, just because there are more hub levels and wider areas to to look through. But yeah, I think it's one where, for what it does, I think it's great. If you love Medieval, or if you hadn't played it before, like this is going to be one that kids are going to love and stuff.
It's fun, yeah.
I had fond memories of playing this as a kid, so I'm definitely down for it.
It toes the line, I would say, almost too strictly of being like so authentic to the original, because
I haven't even played the original.
Yeah, the way you move the characters. Well, then there you go. Like that's part of it too. If you've never played the PS1 one, you're looking at it as a game that's coming out in 2019.
No,
and
I understand it's an old game from the very first era. It's just not you know what I mean.
Words are hard.
The first PlayStation. Yeah, I don't. It's great. It's fine. It's fine.
No, I know it's fine. This is never a game I thought you were going to buy anyway.
Maybe it's like $20, $25.
I think it's 30.
Yeah,
it's cheap.
Discounted,
cheapish. Yeah. I mean, and it's fine. I'm with you. It's fine. I mean, I'm not trying to say it's not. I just
like I'm glad there was a trailer. I mean, damn it, I'm glad there was a demo. Like really, I'm glad there was.
Yeah, and from that perspective too, I think it's a perfect demo. I think that's why it's short lived. It is for the people that are nostalgia hungry and they want to get in and see, okay, well, does it at least run well? And you've probably got a hardcore crowd of PlayStation fans that this is what they want.
Sure.
All they want is a super prettied up version of the game they played as a kid.
That's what they got.
And they're going to sell plenty of copies on that alone.
I would say maybe like for the demo, I would have preferred like a deeper, like a level farther in with the same intro though.
Did you say, we got... Why are you so on him about the demo thing? He's allowed to have opinions.
He's been saying... I don't know. It's just... I think his expectations are just way too high.
We didn't get that. We got the first level. You guys said that multiple times.
This is the first level.
I would say I wanted a deeper level. Like a later on level. Like literally. Not the first one.
Not the first... Okay. Yeah.
I think we should just be happy we got a demo at all. Because there's so few and far between these days.
I am thankful because...
Even if you can only play it for like 5 more days.
Yeah.
Because it's only available until the 4th. It'll be gone by the time this podcast
probably would have
What's the release date of Medieval again?
The 28th, something like that.
Okay.
It's not Halloween. It's a little before Halloween. 22nd to 28th. Somewhere in that range.
Cool.
Could be 24. Don't think it's 25. 25 sounds wrong. It's probably on a Thursday or Friday.
Something like that.
Not a Wednesday.
Just shooting all
Maybe
over
a
the
Tuesday.
place.
It's out. It's out right now. It's out. No,
Go
it's
play
out.
it.
So Ethan, do you play anything else?
But it kind of goes into the next one of the things down later also with Code Vein.
We'll give the people a taste.
I played the Code Vein trial.
We talked about that last week.
Yeah, but I mean, I got
Did you play it more?
a little bit.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll go in. We'll go into that. We got quite a few games came out this week, and one of these came out earlier last week where we would have recorded our episode, but there's just no time to fit in extra
Got
stuff.
something to say about the Surge,
This
too.
episode was already 2 hours long, so
It's a long one.
I had to cut this one from it. But we've got a few games that just came out. I want to try to do something a little different. You see our title on the dock. What's the score? Now, Drew's going to be kind of cheating. Not on purpose, and he claims he's forgotten everything, but there's something ingrained in his brain,
As is tradition.
inbrained, that's in there somewhere subconsciously that he might be able to draw from. So I'm going to get your guesses first, Ethan, and Drew, your guess is second.
That's fine.
And what I want y'all to do is I'm going to read off what the game is. I know, it's always somebody. It's always somebody. And I want you to guess what the Open Critic score for this game is.
Okay.
And we're going to go Price is Right rules because we've established that as the absent-minded
Travis likes
I like
those
the Price is
rules.
Right rules as close to the correct value without going over. Sweet and simple.
Yep.
Now, our first game
Dollar always wins, just saying.
is Contra Rogue Corpse, or Core, sorry. I always say Corpse, and I have to go back and correct. Contra
Say
Rogue
Corp.
Core from Konami Digital Entertainment. Came out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch on September 24th. So just a week ago.
Now-
roundabouts.
Please enlighten me as to what is this, because this is not a...
Well, you've heard of Contra.
Yes.
Yes.
Is this like a legacy collection via Mega Man style, or...
Here's
no,
the
I
description.
think this is like a whole new game.
Contra is back. 2 years after the Alien Wars ended, the damned city erupts from the final background. From the midst of the chaos, a group of scoundrels emerge. They might not be typical heroes, but they're here to save the world or get rich trying. Featuring action-packed battles, customizable gear, gigantic bosses, and explosive multiplayer action. Features include local and online co-op action for up to 4 players, 4 outrageous characters, each with their own weird style and colorful attitude. Build over 100 weapons and augment your character with bionic body parts earned in mission. Character progression, weapon development, and customization ensure extensive replayability. And crazy new heroes and big bosses join the Contra universe.
Wow.
Now,
That was a lot.
I'm looking for a top critic average number. This is 1 out of 1 to 100. And for bonus points,
We're asking a lot.
these are 2 numbers and 1 is optional. Top critic average.
Wait.
From 1 to 100.
You said 2 numbers?
He was going into the second one, but you interrupted.
And a percentage of critics that recommend it.
Okay.
Also
Okay.
from 1 to 100, obviously, as percentages tend to work.
As is tradition.
So, Ethan,
Yes.
Contra Rogue Core from Konami Digital Entertainment.
Yes.
The first entry in the Contra series
In a while.
since I don't know when. It's been quite a while.
Yeah.
Where do you think this is sitting from 1 to 100?
What was this number for again?
The top critic average. So this is the Open Critic score. Basically, this is an aggregate of what the review score from all the different reviewers would be.
So an average? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know an average.
Well, because some are like, if IGN
and
7
this is
out of
for
10,
this
and
is
someone
for
else is
what?
someone-
Like just Metacritic or
This is Open Critic, which is
Okay.
similar to Metacritic.
Okay.
I
And
just
now
prefer it.
what was the platforms again?
All of them. PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. And keep in mind, this number, unlike on Metacritic, this is for each platform. So if the PS4 version ran really great, but the Switch version ran like trash and it has way lower reviews, it all averages out.
78.
You're going 78? Don't look at my fucking screen, Drew.
I didn't look at shit.
No, I know you didn't. I was just joking. Drew, how you feeling about this?
I'm
Can I get a country of origin?
52.
Wow. That's how I know he's cheating. He's a cheating sack of shit. I'm not even going to do the critics recommend because the number is 51.
Oh, you cheating
So
bastard.
I told you he remembered something from before.
Oh my God, this is rigged. Rigged.
I didn't realize he was fucking playing a winning game. I was just going.
So 51's
No.
pretty fucking low,
Yeah,
by the
that's
way.
pretty
It is.
terrible.
This game's trash.
That's pretty
from
true.
everything
Is
I've read.
it still going by the True Contra formula where it's a side-scrolling 2D shooter? Or not 2D, it's probably 3D, but side-scrolling.
I don't even want to click on any of these pictures.
All right,
You
fair
can
enough.
find
Let's
out on
move
your own if
on.
you want to.
Next game.
Well, hold on. There is a clip. I did want to read one outtake from Destructoid, Chris Carter's review. It's a shame because sometimes, even when I'm fighting the game, I'm enjoying myself. Contra Rogue Core needed some time in the oven, and I'm not sure the whole segmented ways to play concept is going to go over well with everyone. But when it's firing on all cylinders, there's some silly shoot 'em up fun going on. And his review is 5 out of 5 or 5.5 out of 10. So not great.
Low average.
Next up, we got The Surge 2 from Deck 13, published by Focus Home Entertainment. Of course, this released on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. Description is on the way to Jericho City, your plane is shot down by a mysterious storm and crash lands in the outskirts. You wake up weeks later in a derelict detention facility inside the city. Armor-clad soldiers enforce martial law, robots are on a rampage, and a dark expanding nanostorm looms over the cityscape. Features are hardcore, brutal melee combat, not unlike the Soul series.
Do you guys not know what the Surge is?
Oh, I know what the Surge is.
I have no idea what the Surge is.
Drew does not.
This is like the Surge is basically the mecha steam. I don't know. I wouldn't even say steampunk. More of just like
Poke-apocalypse, like kind of post-apocalypse.
Mad
Poke-apocalypse.
Max, Dark Souls, basically.
Yeah.
They is very machine driven, and
Okay.
their big draw was that you could focus in on a target's part, specifically like arm.
Oh,
or
yeah,
leg,
and you could, like,
and
tear
take
it
that
off or-
part and
yeah.
use it because it was like cool.
Oh.
Face deadly foes and colossal bosses. Cut off parts of the enemy you want to loot. Rich character progression and customization.
Was not impressed by the Surge 1, to be honest. Lackluster story.
I will say all the reviews said that it's
Yes, an improvement.
a nice improvement over the formula for the first game. So, top critic average out of 100. What are we thinking? Ethan first.
I'm gonna go solid 88.
Okay. Drew?
We already know you know it. Come on, just say
The first one was easier because it was so bad it was hard to
true.
overlook. The rest probably all blur together.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, well,
Come on, don't take too long.
okay.
got
I'm
a
going to go
podcast to do.
75.
All right, Drew wins again, 75 because the number was 77. Drew,
It's
you
fine.
sack of shit.
okay. That's it could be better, but it's an improvement on the last one.
All right, next up we got Code Vein from Bandai Namco Entertainment and Bandai Namco Studios. Ethan, how did you feel about Code Vein now that you've dove back in? You still a fan of the big vampire titties?
Oh yeah, I mean her tits are great. Like she has got a top tier character design. Like those tits do not quit. And they don't need to, and they honestly carry the game. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just the story is hard. It's real Japanese anime. Like this goes weeboo, anime.
What kind of game is it?
Hardcore. It's vampires. It's a Dark Souls.
It's another Dark Souls
It's a
type
Dark
of-
Souls RPG. Vampires.
got 2 in 1 week.
Like it's the combat is a lot of fun. There is so much customization with your abilities because you've got like you've got 4 for each one, and you have like a trigger that goes to that one. So and they're upgradable, and it's cool. But again, the story just
Weeb's hard.
it's very hard to get into. The vampire thing goes right away. I don't know.
You got to go into this liking vampires. Okay, so this was released on the 27th of September on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Description is as follows. In the face of certain death, we rise. In the not too distant future, where I like all of my games and movies to occur, a mysterious disaster has brought collapse to the world as we know it. Towering skyscrapers, once symbols of prosperity, are now lifeless graves of humanity's past, pierced by the thorns of judgment. At the center of destruction lies a hidden society of revenants called Vane. This final stronghold is where the remaining few fight to survive, blessed with gifts of power in exchange for their memories and a thirst for blood. Given to the bloodlust fully and risk becoming one of the lost, fiendish ghouls devoid of any remaining humanity. Wandering aimlessly in search of blood, the lost will stop at nothing to satisfy their hunger. Team up and embark on a journey to the ends of hell to unlock your past and escape your living nightmare in Code Vein.
Yeah.
Ethan?
That's a lot.
Ethan, how you feeling about
That's
this one?
a lot, man. You just said a lot of words. Those are a lot of buzzwords, people.
Anime.
Get that shit out of here.
Anime.
Like, this is not a Dark Souls game. I mean, it's
a Dark Souls game.
But it is definitely a RPG vampire thing first. But,
Fuck yeah.
But
I'm going to buy it.
the combat is actually really fun.
I'm going to buy it. It's going to be the only
combat
Souls
is
game I ever
really
beat.
fun. Just saying. Like, the sword fight and shit and hitting, slashing is fun.
What you got?
90.
90. You are going, for Price is Right rules, you're going way over. You think most 9 out of 10 people gave this a 10 out of 10?
I don't know.
You think that many?
I don't know.
You think where the game industry is today that a lot of people are like, show me the big titty weeboos?
What's the number?
I'm going to say 70.
74.
Ouch.
90. I think this is because you read the numbers beforehand, Andrew, but also Ethan doesn't know what a video game review looks like anymore. I don't think he's ever been to Metacritic.com or OpenCritic.com.
Not anymore. I don't trust other people's opinions.
He's never been good with numbers.
People are bad.
I mean, we discovered earlier that I wasn't.
People are bad and have bad ideas to begin with.
We got a quote from Austin Wood over at Games Radar from his review. Code Vein's lackluster combat is held up by a great character customization.
How dare you, sir?
And its boring world is driven by a memorable story. It's clunky and uneven, but fun. He felt exactly the opposite of what you felt.
And you know what? I bet that's
Shitty story, cool world, awesome combat, characters suck.
I bet that's fun. Yeah, you know what? The character customization I thought was a lot of fun, but it's a little hard boiled. I don't know.
Like an egg.
Yes.
Next up in our last game, which I hope to be playing. If I beat Fire Emblem fast enough, I'm going to be playing this. Finally.
Can we go ahead and skip the game because I already know what this was the one that I remember the most.
God damn it, Alexa.
What was that, Alexa?
Please don't.
We just won't let you answer. I'll just see how
Okay,
close
that's fine.
Drew or Ethan gets to. Dragon Quest 11S, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Definitive Edition.
Is this just like DLC with it or something? Like,
Well, it's a re-release on Nintendo Switch that combines all the aspects of the 3DS version and the PS4 version with a bunch of bonus content.
Stuff.
oh, the S. I see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the extra stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Because that's
this is
like the
not
rank
DLC, 'cause
above
this
A.
this was basically the whole game was essentially remade for the Switch.
Neat.
So it's very unlikely that any of this stuff ever gets ported over to PS4.
It makes me so mad.
Andrew's fuming.
Makes me
I am.
glad that I stopped
It's-
for so long.
yeah.
Until like, and this is one of those games I would never have gotten the platinum in it anyway, so I don't have to worry
This
about
is
not
the one
getting
where they look
trophies.
like Goku's, right?
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
it's
this is the one
character
where-
designer is Akira Toriyama.
Toriyama,
He's
yeah.
classically always been the designer for this series.
Yeah. Did you see that Flying Nimbus Mountain 14 they did?
Yes, I did.
Damn it.
Yeah,
So
it looks
pissed
good.
off.
Makes me mad because it's probably like $20 for that fucking thing.
Oh yeah, their good mounts are like $30.
Oh, God.
That cloud bike was like $29.99.
The genre-defining RPG series levels up on Nintendo Switch. Ready for a grand adventure filled with memorable characters, an enchanting story, and RPG gameplay that can be taken on the go?
One Piece.
The definitive version features the same sprawling content of the original Dragon Quest XI game, but with newly added character-specific stories, fully orchestrated field and battle music, side quests to journey into past Dragon Quest worlds, and the ability to alternate not only between HD and retro-inspired 16-bit visuals, but also Japanese and English voice track.
Like mid-game?
Yeah, like you can switch from like the full-blown, like what it looks like.
Oh, no,
like
I'm talking about the
30.
audio.
Voice track, yeah.
Oh yeah, in game you can switch between Japanese and English without like booting out.
Wow.
But then you can also switch from like the full regular looking visuals
Yeah, I heard
to like the 16-bit.
Yeah.
That's the coolest feature.
I think the audio
it
is
makes
more
it look like
impressive.
the old retro SNES games and stuff.
That's why I'm. Well, let's go. Let Ethan guess, and then we'll get into it.
What's your guess on this one?
27.
See, if you're not going to take it seriously, then why
sorry.
would I even
All
buy?
right,
We'll cut this whole thing.
No,
We
this
won't
was a
even-
good game. I
Sorry,
just
because I went
just
so high.
fucked up
Come back
early.
Because I went
just
so
fucked
high
up.
with the last ones, I was going to go really low. I'll give it a solid 70.
And how many percent of critics do you think recommended this game?
Is this a different number? This is the first time.
Yes, this was the bonus number. I didn't ask you before.
and this
because
is
Drew-
out of
Drew-
this is out of 100.
I ruined
critics
it.
Yes,
again.
like so you say I rate the game out of set, like even if I rate the game 6 out of 10, I could still recommend it. I could say at the end, I think people should play this
Oh,
game.
sure, okay.
Or someone that says pass, like don't even
for
try
a
it.
Dragon Quest game.
Yeah.
I mean,
And this is based on 21 reviews right now.
oh, so out of 21 people, not 100. Wait,
The
what?
percent of recommendations. What percentage of those 21 people do you think recommended the game?
Of 21 people?
Yes.
Yeah, like a third.
You're really bad at this.
Okay, that's fine.
The Open Critic score was 90 out of 100.
Oh, so this one was really good. Fuck you.
And 100% of critics recommend this game.
I mean, that's good for an RPG like that to be recommended to everybody. I think that's impressive.
Dragon Quest is a very, very popular series.
Yeah.
It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
It's been like it's like a very known thing that like anytime one of these games comes out in Japan, it like stops the workflow.
There is 11
It's like
of
a
them.
cultural phenomenon every single time one of these games comes out.
Yeah, I read something.
People love Toriyama.
I think it was Brandon Orselli. He runs Niche Gamer. I follow him on Twitter. I think it was him. He said he went to dinner with his parents, his folks, who happen to be Japanese.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
he asked him, I can't remember who asked who what, but basically the question was, what is like the most popular video game series in Japan? And the dad like unequivocally was like, oh, Dragon Quest. And this is like someone
Yeah,
who's like
it's
60,
huge
70 years
over
old or
there.
something. Like, yeah, and Dragon Quest is like the game that like over here we're like, oh shit, I'll dust off
Call of Duty or-
I'll go buy a PS4 for the new Call of Duty, or this Spider-Man game. Over there it's all Dragon Quest. Now I'm gonna buy a Nintendo Switch. Like
Well, I mean, gosh, yeah, well, I was pissed earlier because I'm going to have to buy this fucking game again because I
and
bought
start
it on
over.
PlayStation 4.
you can't port your save over.
I know. And it's like, I remember whenever I first got it, that was one of the things I was talking to you about it because you were like, oh, how do you like the new Dragon Quest? I was like, I really like it, but I wish it was on Switch.
Yeah.
You know, and then that fucking Direct came out with the Switch and then like the
game had been announced as there will be a Switch version. They just they didn't have a date.
Oh,
because I
okay.
think before you bought it too, you were like, oh, I don't know if I should get on PS4 or wait for it to come out on Switch.
Oh,
And I think at the time I probably was just like, just get the PS4 version. 'Cause
Yeah.
back then we assumed it was just gonna be a straight port, not that it was gonna be this crazy super duper edition.
Like, I want that fucking
The
16-bit
amount of
mode
extra
so
shit in this game is nuts. Yeah, because when it first came out, people were like, "Oh, do I buy it for PS4 or do I get the 3DS one?" Because
I had no idea it was even out on the 3DS.
that's where the 16-bit version came from.
Oh.
Is that like the entire game was made for the 3DS in that 16-bit visual
No
format,
shit.
and then also the PS4 like full 3D, what we expect kind of game. And so yeah, a lot
And
of people
the
were like, "Fuck, I
16-bit
really like the
version
PS4 one, but I want it on the."
I'm sorry.
Well,
go
it's
ahead.
it's what you think of like the top down, like Super Nintendo
Random
style
battle encounter.
It's the exact same format of the game and everything. It's just that it looks like the old school Dragon Quest games.
Well, it's just because in the new Dragon Quest in 11, it's more of like you run up to the enemy and then you engage
It's like
a
that
battle.
in the 16-bit one.
Okay,
as well.
it's like- okay.
it's the exact same game.
Okay.
It's just in a top-down 16-bit 2D
Okay, cool.
format. Well, boys, you know what time it is.
It's time to get into the news.
Time to get some news.
Fuck your news.
With me today is Andrew because Ethan's off on his phone somewhere.
Man,
I
there's
know.
so much like randomly updating shit on Apex right now. I'm sorry.
You'll just have to run it down for us
like-
at the end of the podcast.
Oh my God.
Keep us updated because I do want to know. I want you to tell me all about Apex.
It's just new map shit, like,
New map shit.
and crypto.
And
Yeah.
crypto. First up, Spider-Man will stay in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
From
Thank God.
Brent Lang over at Variety.com. After briefly breaking up, Sony Pictures and Marvel have found a way to get back in the Spider-Man business together. On Friday, the two companies jointly announced that Marvel Studios and its president, Kevin Feige, will produce the third film in the Spider-Man Homecoming series. It will once again feature Tom Holland reprising his role as the titular hero. The rumor mill roared back to life this week with hints that the two companies were close to brokering a new agreement. Over the summer, news broke that Disney, Marvel's parent company, and Sony had reached an impasse over a new financing deal. Disney wanted the film to be financed on a 50-50 basis, with Feige remaining in a consulting producer capacity. Sony is believed to have proposed keeping the arrangement under the current terms, which stipulate that Marvel receives about 5% of first dollar gross on and all merchandising revenues. The new deal was signed late on Thursday night. Negotiations involved top players from both studios, including Sony Pictures chief Tom Rothman, Feige, and Walt Disney Studios co-chairs Alan Horn and Alan Bergman. And when Alan Horn comes into the room, that's when you know big numbers were getting thrown around. Because that's the fucking, I think, the current CEO of Disney right now.
Damn.
in exchange for lending Feige's producing prowess. I'm sorry, Bob Iger is the one. Alan Horn is likely to be.
They're literally
taking over Disney.
Co-chairs.
So no, I know. Well, you can be a chairman and still be a CEO.
You're probably chairman of the boards.
But sorry, Alan Horn is. I read not recently or very recently.
He's going to take over after
Bob Iger is going to retire either next year or 2021. I think 2021, and then Alan Horn is looking to be the guy that's going to fill the shoes. So. In exchange for lending Feige's producing prowess, Marvel and Disney will receive roughly 25% of the profits, according to insiders. Disney will retain its merchandising rights and will put up roughly a quarter of the financing. As part of the arrangement, Spider-Man will also appear in one future Marvel Studios film. That's the biggest part. So, third Spider-Man is coming, scheduled for release July 16, 2021. But then he's also still contracted for one more film after that before we go through all of this again.
Yep.
The new event.
But at least that gives us more time to kill Tom Holland. We can kill off his Spider-Man, bring in Miles Morales or some other character. This deal will not last forever.
Yeah, no way. Spider-Man's way too big of an IP.
But so they're going to have to either figure out something more permanent or kill Spider-Man in the MCU.
All I'm saying,
or do some alternate dimension thing where Venom ends up being a Doctor Strange verse or something. And they
I'm just happy that they got this, that he's back in, because just the way that Far From Home ended, and then
a lot of world building.
Yeah,
sure. It's just when they announced that he wasn't going to be in it, it's just like, how do you have this movie and end it like that, and then just take him away?
Well, the ending isn't even that big a deal, because the ending they could still continue with that story in the Sonyverse.
Yeah.
Because that story does not involve anyone that's not a Spider-Man character.
Yeah.
The problem is that they set up in the MCU that Peter Parker is the new Iron Man. They did all this shit building his story with Tony Stark and everything. And then now, okay, well, he can only be in the Sony movies where he can't talk about Iron Man, where Happy can't be in it anymore.
Yeah, that's
where Aunt May can't be dating
has to be
Happy.
Different, probably.
Not too different, but it's just one of those things. There's too many things that we're just not allowed to talk about anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get
Ned
at.
can't joke around about how he knows the Avengers and shit, and like just so many things that we've talked about. It the snap, like luckily all that's taken care of. Like you can't reference any of that anymore. You can't just be like, there's just too many things, too much red tape. If that was to happen, and then same thing where if he goes and is like in the Venom movie or some shit. Well, Venom can't ever cross over if there's no Spider-Man Sony deal. Whereas as long as his deal is intact, there's no reason that like this next Spider-Man movie or the one after couldn't have Tom Hardy as Venom in it in some capacity. So it's just a lot cleaner this way. But you got to imagine that like all this really means is that by that movie next is that they're going to find some way to kill Spider-Man.
Now, do
something. I don't know.
Do you think Disney is just going to ship out whatever they have to get Spider-Man after this is over?
I don't know, because I mean, if Disney was able to talk them up all the way to 25% of the profit share, that's a 20-point boost over what they had before. Yeah. And it's not like Disney hasn't proven that they can make sure these movies make at least $1 billion. Yeah. The low-rung movies are going to make $1 billion from now on. Like that's just where
Disney Plus.
That's just where Marvel
TV
is now.
Shows are going to make like that. Like it's they're
I think that's a lot of what they're looking at is like Sony, obviously they can make bad decisions, but even their bad decisions make a decent amount of money when it involves Spider-Man. Yeah. Because we talked about how Venom still made $850 million.
Still haven't seen Venom.
Jesus.
Yeah. And that was like critically panned, but audiences loved it. Audience was fine with it. And then if you do Venom 2 and there's a fucking Tom Holland Spider-Man cameo, that's enough. That right there fills in your extra $150 million.
Is Morbius still happening?
Morbius is still happening. The Silver Sable movie is on hold right now.
Okay.
Because there was supposed to be a Black Cat and Silver Sable movie that has now supposedly been split. They're being reformatted and
I was like Black
split
Cat.
into two separate films. There's still talk of a Kraven the Hunter film.
That's what it was, Kraven.
But that could just end up being one of the new Spider-Man movies at some point. I don't think that they're necessarily going to do like a solo villain movie with him. And then the other one that has been talked about most recently, Blade. Well, there was talk of a solo Aunt May film, but that has been supposedly canned. And now the rumor is that there's going to be a Madam Web solo film.
Oh yeah, I did see something like that.
Ethan, you might know more about her. All I know about her is from the Spider-Man TV show.
It's the animated.
She's like this weird extra dimensional.
It's kind of like multiverse
kind of thing.
It's got to do with the Spider-Verse, I think, a little bit, and that was just. I just
remember. I think Doctor Strange was involved a little bit with it. Yeah. I can't remember exactly, but Just weird. Like, why are these solo movies happening?
I remember like when he was going through that weird, like he was changing into a like actual spider.
I remember that.
Spider,
Like
in the
I remember
animated-
he went to her a lot to like talk about it, and
Yeah. They're just doing a lot of weird stuff over there. They really wanted, because when you're trying to make a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man, all you got is the villains. So you got to make a bunch of weird villain movies, and they can't all be anti-heroes. So I don't understand. Because how are you going to make an anti-hero like Sinister Six
out of
and
everybody,
then turn around and be like, oh, okay, well now these people that we've got that like you kind of rooting for, well now they all have to fight Spider-Man, and I just don't.
they
know.
can't all have like kids that need to go to college or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've been in prison for a long time, and I just want to see my little girl.
They can't all be Sandman.
Next up, Death Stranding has officially gone gold.
God, Hideo Kojima, why are you so weird?
There are no delays. He's so cool. What are you talking about? Look at that
Such
picture.
a weird dude.
So cool.
So what does it mean by when it goes gold? I know
Oh my
you've
God.
explained this to me before.
We
I'm
have
sorry.
to talk about this every week
I
now.
remember what it means.
It means that the game is finished. The code
right.
is finalized.
Okay, sorry.
It's gone through certification. That disc has the final code for the game. That disc is what they will be using to like. It's
like the
code
mother's
on there will
disc.
be making
Yeah.
all of the printed copies that go out.
mother disc. You get
Yeah.
all the baby discs from that disc. Except
mean,
they're the
not
same.
not
Except they're
really.
the same size disc.
Yeah. So the game's coming out on November 8th. There's no delays. I think this is just the craziest part about this news is that
I know there is
just
no
sort of-
delays, yeah.
It just like again, it solidifies the fact that like I can't believe this game is coming out this soon.
What is that, like 39 days?
I mean, because how long has it been since he's announced it?
About that, yeah, I think you're right. So you do math when you want to.
When it's easy numbers, yeah. Like I can do basic math. I'm not an idiot.
What was that, Andrew?
So how long has it been since he announced this game? It's only been about like 2 or 3
The announcement was
years.
about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was something like 8 or 9 months after he announced that Kojima Productions
Was leaving Kojima.
coming out.
But we've
or was
gotten
a
all
company.
of like our looks at the game, like literally within the last like months. Like all the major
Oh, the
stuff.
gameplay
all like the
stuff?
gameplay
Yeah.
reveals and everything.
Yeah, because the first big trailer was like E3
Yeah.
2017.
I thought it was
or
a Games
something.
Award thing.
No, that was the most recent trailer. I'm talking about the first trailer that had that sweet song from Low Roar or whatever. The I'll keep coming. Doom, 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 doom. The one they even had the they made like a vinyl single for it and everything.
Oh, really?
If I showed you the trailer, you'd remember. It's Norman Reedus on the beach with like the weird oil prints and stuff, and then all the like it's like desolate.
Oh,
because that trailer
okay.
that came out before they'd even picked an engine for the game.
No shit?
Yeah, they
It
hadn't
had
even
like what it had the black figures in the sky kind of, but you could barely see
He's
him.
like naked and
The
like,
BTs, I
just,
think
like
they're
all the
called.
weird like
We're just
baby
like,
fingerprints all over him, and we're all just like, what's going on? But yeah, so Death Stranding is gone gold. It's coming.
Cool.
There's no delays. We'll all be playing it on November 8th, and I can't wait to talk about how fucking weird it is and how we don't get what's going on at all.
Yep.
And on that same day, we'll also be getting a Death Stranding original album titled Death Stranding Timefall.
Dope.
Separate from the game's official soundtrack, Death Stranding Timefall will feature original music inspired by the upcoming game. With only a few months to go until its release, it's no surprising that anticipation is only getting higher for Hideo Kojima's long-awaited Death Stranding. Though we still don't have a clear idea of what exactly Death Stranding actually is, we do have an idea that it apparently will be the source of inspiration for a number of new music tracks from a collection of well-known artists. A new Death Stranding soundtrack album has been revealed, called Death Stranding Timefall, which I've said like 3 times already, which will be detailed over at the official PlayStation website in an FAQ. I believe the FAQ like leaked or got posted too early, and someone, of course, in pro internet fashion, immediately got a copy of it and like took screenshots and
As is
shared it all
tradition.
over the place for everyone to see. According to Sony, Death Stranding Timefall will release on November 8th, 2019 to coincide with the game's launch and is included with special editions of the game. It's also going to be able to be streamed on Spotify. You'll be able to buy the album separately, physically and digitally. Notably, more details on the album come from the Japanese pop culture site Entertainment Week. What? Oh, week. Just 1 week of entertainment, not Entertainment Weekly, which is an American magazine and publication. Has suggested that the album will feature music created by artists such as Churches, Khalid, DJ Laser, and more. While Sony has not officially confirmed just yet which artists will be contributing to Timefall, artists like Churches crafting music for the album makes sense as the group themselves visited Kojima Productions in Japan earlier this year, and Kojima himself has expressed his love for their music before. And yeah, people have already dug out tons of pictures where he's taking like selfies with like random artists and stuff. So it's like basically we have the track or at least the artist listing, not the track
yeah.
The
listing.
guy
but
spelled churches wrong.
That's how the band's name is spelled.
Oh, then the band spelled it wrong.
think someone would have told them that.
So
They
the
got
one thing
typos all over all their albums and stuff.
One thing I'm
Unprofessional.
really
I know, right?
excited for about this is when there's definitely going to be a vinyl edition of this, and I want to see how fucking weird it is.
Oh yeah, well that was why I could have swore I sent you the Death Stranding vinyl, but maybe someone else. I don't know, because I really love the song from the very first trailer. It's fucking awesome. It really got me into that band that does the song.
Yeah.
And yeah, that record was really cool because it's one of the, I think it's a picture disc, but it's more than that. Like there's something else going on with it that makes it really weird. But yeah, it's always good to have new tunes on Spotify. Next up, The Last of Us Part 2 won't have multiplayer after all, from
Big fucking deal.
Katie McCarthy over at US Gamer.
Some people really like the multiplayer in the first Last of Us.
It turns out that The Last of Us Part 2 actually won't have a multiplayer mode, contrary to reports last year stating otherwise. At an event earlier this week, Naughty Dog lead game designer Amelia Scatz? I don't know. I'm very sorry. That's not even trying to be a joke. It's SCHATZ. I shouldn't.
Schatz?
When I see names like that, I always try to look up an interview with them where they have to say their name out loud. I did that for Khalid for the article just before where I was like,
yeah,
is it
it's Khalid.
Khalid? Because I know there's DJ Khalid. So I'm sorry, Amelia. I confirmed the lack of multiplayer in an interview with US Gamer. In a follow-up after the event, Sony reconfirmed the news. Quote, "We're focusing on a single-player experience, so we're just making a single-player game for this," she said during the event. When asked about what sort of form the previously confirmed multiplayer mode would take. Previously at E3 2018, co-directors Kurt Margano and Anthony Newman confirmed to outlets such as Polygon and GameSpot that The Last of Us' multiplayer mode would be making a comeback. For a long time, it was a trend of traditionally single-player games to get a shoehorned in multiplayer mode. Naughty Dog's The Last of Us was among them, but surprisingly, its factions multiplayer mode was pretty robust and inspired. It even lets you link your Facebook account so that other survivors in your group would have your friends' names and likenesses.
I forgot about that.
It was a little sad to see its server shutter earlier this September on PlayStation 3. Now we know the same server-ending fate won't befall The Last of Us Part 2 because there will be no servers to say goodbye to. Yeah, and then we also got an update from Naughty Dog about this multiplayer mode and what they had to say about this. This is from their Twitter account. "We wanted to address multiplayer in The Last of Us Part 2. As we stated, the single-player campaign is far and away the most ambitious project Naughty Dog has ever undertaken. Likewise, as development began on the evolution of our factions mode from The Last of Us Part 1, the vision of the team grew beyond an additional mode that could be included with our enormous single-player campaign. Wanting to support both visions, we made the difficult choice that The Last of Us Part 2 would not include an online mode. However, you will eventually experience the fruits of our team's online ambition, but not as part of The Last of Us Part 2. When and where it will be released is still to be determined. But rest assured, we are as big a fan of factions as the rest of our community and are excited to share when more is ready." So
Battle Royale, look out for that.
again, reconfirming what we were talking about on Slack when this news dropped, that like Naughty Dog's still hiring people for multiplayer development. Those job listings are still on their website. Obviously, they put a lot of R&D into this.
They're obviously working on like a factions multiplayer type deal.
And
so like
Drew and I were talking, it was basically came down to either it's an update that gets added after launch, kind of similar like Red Dead Redemption 2, where the online didn't launch right away with it, but it came into beta a few months later, or it's a whole separate standalone thing.
I think it's going to be a separate standalone thing.
Well, that's what they just said. It's not coming to Last of Us Part 2. It's not going to be DLC.
Okay.
They'll figure out down the line how they do that. I would not be surprised if this is something that is maybe free to play and is launching on PS5 as like a thing like, hey, day one, PS5's out. You know,
we
The
have
Last of Us
factions
you play
out,
Part 2 because it's backwards compatible on PS4. We're going to put that on discount. Play that on your PS5, and then also here's The Last of Us, whatever factions multiplayer mode they have.
Bet you they just call it factions.
That way you can buy PS5 and like day one you've got like some hot multiplayer thing that everyone's wanting to play. Because that's something we talked about for a while now, is that Sony doesn't really have that big gotta play it exclusive multiplayer game. They don't really have a shooter anymore that they used to have in like Resistance or Killzone. Mm-hmm. They just don't have a huge... This whole generation has just been the Sony that is single player campaigns. God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn. It's just all about the single player.
Just like I like it.
Whereas on the Microsoft side, of course, where maybe weren't the biggest fans of Halo 5, as many people were not, but big multiplayer game. There's still tons of people playing that. Gears 5 just came out. Big multiplayer game where people, these are games where people buy them and they don't even care about the campaign. They're here for the next Horde mode. They're here for all the multiplayer aspects. Yeah, Forza is a great example, just another great online integration game. So for Sony, if they can utilize one of their biggest IP for this, that would be a great move.
This interview makes me think I actually do secretly and will secretly and am going to love The Last of Us because this speaks to me directly as a gamer. This solo experience. Hey, we have a set, focused, laser beam mind on what we wanted to present.
I mean, really, The Last of
So
Us
does
Part
this
1
mean
was
you're
like
actually
that
going to
too.
play the first one?
It's going to be free. Of course I'm going to play it.
So
I'd be
play it.
throwing a free game.
And then post your shitty memes about it.
It's free tomorrow, so you
If
might
my
have,
memes weren't true, I wouldn't post them.
How do you didn't
Here
play
we
the
go.
fucking game?
I have played it enough.
Hold on.
Also, breathe. Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay.
We already talked about how much money you plan on dumping into microtransactions in Apex
It's
Season
going to be
3.
like $60.
When you
Like,
open
oh
your
my
first set of
God.
10 packs and you're just mad.
10 packs? I don't get that many. Like,
Oh, I don't know how these things
Jesus,
cost.
I get like 4 maybe.
Yeah.
They're
When
like
they all
$10.
suck and you're aggravated, do me a favor. That's the moment you need to turn the game off and boot up The Last of Us Part 1. Because you can
No.
download that tomorrow.
That's too.
It goes
like,
up tomorrow.
No, that's too much. I don't want to be quiet and stealthy in a moment of rage. I want to murder something.
Oh, in the beginning, you do plenty of murdering.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
You don't have to stealth for a little while in The Last of Us.
okay, see, I'm gonna play it. Just back the fuck off, both of you.
It's okay. You got till February.
Yeah,
You got
I
some
gotta
time.
finish 7 before the remaster comes out too. Like,
So
God.
get your shit together. Quit playing all these fucking live service games.
I don't
Cancel
even
World
know-
of War
I don't even
Classic. I don't even know what live service means.
means.
God damn it. Again, I ask, why is he even on this podcast?
So, but okay, if you
You
think
ask
it's
that every day about both of us.
if you think it's free, if you think it's going to be free to play and release on PS5, do you think? I mean, it'll probably have
that's
some
just
sort
my
of mic.
guess. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, you're
I would
throwing
not-
a long
Well, do you-
javelin there.
That's my Gatorade get hype moment.
See, I hope it's more of like a $20 or like $30 edition, like multiplayer add-on or something like that. And because to me, if they're gonna release it free, then it's gonna be full of microtransactions.
There were tons of microtransactions and factions in the first one.
Was there?
Yeah. That was one of the big critiques against it, was that it almost got pay to win at a certain point because there were certain guns you could buy. They were clearly overpowered compared to everything else. It's just people didn't really talk about it because it was the PS3 era and into the generation, and there weren't that many people playing the game. I guarantee you, because there's those same microtransactions, you can boot up The Last of Us when we leave and take a look. They're in the remaster as well.
Weird. I don't remember that at all.
That's just the way multiplayer games go. It doesn't matter if it's free to play or if they charge money for it. Again, Call of Duty's coming out soon. It's going to be full of microtransactions.
That's true. Yeah, it's a full $60
That's a $60 game, or probably one that's got like a $100 special edition.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's just the way things are right now. But I don't think that'll change it too much.
Well, then I'll take my statement back.
Rockstar isn't working on single player DLC for Red Dead Redemption 2 because they're making so much money on microtransactions. From Kirk McKeon over at VG247. We recently got a chance to talk to Rockstar about the future of Red Dead Online, but we couldn't resist asking about whether or not single player DLC would be coming in the future. Unfortunately, it doesn't look promising. Quote, we're 100% focused on online right now because, like I said, there's just so much to do, and we're just hoping to bring everything that a player can love about single player into the online world and fleshed out.
Now,
That's
is
a
the
weird quote.
official Red Dead Redemption 2 expert? This makes perfect sense to me.
Lead online producer associate Katie Pika explained. Rockstar sees its plans for online as no different to traditional single-player expansions, with each content drop adding something to Red Dead Online's huge world. The first of these was recently released Frontier Update, which added 3 roles and a bunch of quality-of-life improvements. If you want single-player, Red Dead Redemption 2 story is still there for you to play whenever you want. Well, we get that, Eric. Eric, is that if that really is your name? Kirk. Quote, we said it before, but we all love single-player games. And Red Dead Redemption 2's absolutely massive and equally massive massive story and equally massive epilogues are hopefully evidence of that. The team's ambitions for Red Dead Redemption 2 were sky high in every way, and when we are building worlds of that scale, the single-player experience almost always leads the way. Our ambitions for our online games are just as high, and with Red Dead Online, we are continuing to build and expand to match the world we created for Red Dead Redemption 2's story, not just with the roles, but other activities, new random events, characters to meet, blah, blah, not anything that's single-player DLC. So, fuck this. I don't know. This is another thing. It's
okay,
the same
have you
thing I
guys-
got pissed off about GTA 5.
Have you guys played it?
No, I'm never going to play Red Dead Online.
I played it like whenever it was still in beta. It's
So
just,
the story has like 2 endings. They're both fine and they end it perfectly fine. And it ends. Like it ends. You don't need a DLC because you know why? Because your fucking DLC is in the online. It makes sense. Like you can do and be and do so much in the online.
I just want to play the game and not have to worry about someone griefing me and coming up and like lassoing me and taking
you can
my
have a
horse
passive mode
Yeah,
where
there-
people
like,
can't hurt you.
There
or
is
anything.
that mode. Yeah.
I
Like
still don't care.
I'm just saying
I don't want it online.
this is fine.
I don't want it online.
Okay.
Where's my Ballad of Gay Tony Red Dead Redemption DLC?
You
Okay.
didn't even really like Red Dead 2. You played it and put it down.
So
I think it's
that
fun.
doesn't mean I don't want more of it eventually. Again, I'll pick it up at some point. The reason I put it down was because I wanted to take advantage of this gold glitch in the story, and then I fucked up and realized my save was too far past, and I had other things to play. I didn't stop playing it because I didn't want to keep playing it. It was a stupid thing because I wanted the Chivos or I wanted more gold or something. I
It's
don't
a
know.
fun game.
I'll pick it up eventually.
The game is fun. It's
I could have sworn I
There's a
remember you
lot
told
there.
when you first played it that you
I
didn't
just
like
said it's not a fucking 9 out of 10 like everyone keeps saying. Okay, I'm not paid off by all these video game people like the rest of the industry is. I'm not getting flown out to Rockstar Studios.
I didn't think it was a 9 out of 10
to play
either.
the game. So they lose a couple points because I'm actually playing the fucking thing.
That
and I had to
story
pay
mode got
for
to
it.
be a drag after a while.
I'm just saying, but still, I mean, I'll go back and play it eventually. But I'd rather see DLC, especially for the people that did enjoy it. It's not always about me, Ethan and Andrew. Sometimes it's about the people, and the people deserve single player DLC.
I'm a people.
I mean, it does kind of bum me out.
Yeah,
I wish
you
they,
are a people.
I wish that they would have done like another like Undead Nightmare or something.
But you can put that in the online.
Yeah, it's sweet. And it'll be like a limited time event where I have to get in for a certain amount of time. And it'll be
Right.
like the cool skin I want to unlock
And
for
you'll
my
probably
horse.
have to pay
and
for
I'll have to pay
something,
money
yeah,
for
that's
it.
fine.
No, fuck it. Fuck
But
it.
you'd have to pay for the DLC.
Once. Just once.
But how much? How much would you have to pay for the DLC? $20?
Probably.
$16, $19?
Maybe.
Okay, so that's like what? 6 microtransactions.
No, these days the microtransactions are not so micro.
That you're arguing semantics. It's still the same thing.
It's
you're
not the same if I have to play an online game
versus
with
a couple of
limited
little
time
ones.
content.
They equal the same. It's the same fucking thing.
I would just like more story. It's not the same thing. Next up, Ubisoft opens new Vietnam studio from Rebecca Valentine over at GameIndustry.biz. Ubisoft has announced the
fuck
opening
was
of a
that?
new development studio in Da Nang, Vietnam, which will focus on mobile development. Specifically, Ubisoft Da Nang will focus on instant games. Why? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Da Nang. I don't know. On instant games for social media platforms. Though Ubisoft did not specify which social media platform specifically would see Ubisoft's titles, both Facebook and Snapchat are currently hosting HTML5 games on their Facebook Instant Games and Snap Games platforms, respectively. Ubisoft Da Nang is planning to recruit around 100 employees over the next 3 years who will collaborate with other Ubisoft mobile-focused studios on future projects. It is also looking into partnerships with local institutions and universities. Quote, Da Nang is a vibrant city which offers great quality of life and promising opportunities thanks to its fast-growing tech ecosystem, said Ubisoft Da Nang studio manager Aurélien Palace. With the opening, Ubisoft will benefit from the local expertise pool while welcoming international new talents in the region to enhance its creative strength and meet the increasing demand for mobile gaming. So, Ubisoft Mobile, people. Get into that mobile games.
Assassin's Creed Mobile.
Assassin's Creed Mobile.
Far Cry Mobile.
Yeah. Rainbow Six Mobile. Rayman Mobile.
Oh, Rayman Mobile, I think could
Splinter
work.
Cell Mobile.
They already have a Rayman mobile.
They probably do. They already got that Splinter Cell game, too, that I got mad about over at E3. Where it was the only mention of Sam Fisher in the whole thing was some fucking mobile game.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way that Ubisoft Studios, I don't doubt that they're probably going to focus exclusively on mobile software as far as their main in-house stuff. But, they got development studios all across the country as far as across the world that operate as support studios for the big titles like your Watch Dogs and your Assassin's Creeds and stuff like that. Somebody pointed out that I believe they have it's like Ubisoft Shanghai or something like that. Like it's somewhere in mainland China. And they basically their whole job for like a couple years ago was they did all of the character designs for Honor, all of the different outfits and the unlockables and stuff like that. So this studio could easily do that as well. And I think it works out as well where you've got people on different parts of the world, which means that they could be working on different projects at different times. Like you've got someone in Ubisoft 24/7 working on some sort of game or some sort of thing for a game. But yeah, man, that Ubisoft, they're doing pretty well. So well, in fact, that they just released updated franchise sales figures a little while back. This is from Daniel Ahmad, one of the, I forget, he's an analyst. I can't remember. He's not the MPD analyst, but
Nyko Partners?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Look at you, buddy. You remember his name or something?
No, it's up there.
Is it up there?
Yeah.
Is it on the screen? The big screen?
No, it's on the left.
On the
left side.
Boom. That's 4K TV for you. Numbers so far, Ethan's favorite franchise, Assassin's Creed, has sold 140 million copies.
God damn.
It's a lot.
That's
140.
a lot.
That's a lot of copies.
That's like 10 million 14 times.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost exactly like that.
It is exactly that. I was surprised that Just Dance was only 70 million. For some reason, I didn't expect that Assassin's Creed would be their biggest one.
Half.
Yeah, half. Almost exactly half.
Of what Assassin's Creed sold, almost.
Because Just Dance, that's one of those. That's another one of they still. I think
They released it for Wii.
Yeah, like last year, the last one came out on Wii, and then Far Cry has sold 50 million units. Rabbids has sold 20 million. I hate those little fuckers. Rainbow Six Siege has 50 million players.
It's an odd thing to switch to.
The Ghost Recon series has 30 million players. Well, because these are their live service games.
A lot of
those
people
free to play?
were playing Ghost Recon.
And multiple
R6
times, all of these have either had free versions like starter packs or For Honor, for instance, has been given away like for free on Steam, PlayStation Plus.
R6 Siege
it's a
has its
Games
free
with Gold.
weekends every once in a while.
Yeah, so 50 million players for Rainbow Six Siege, 30 million players on Ghost Recon, 21 million players on For Honor, and 21 million players on The Crew.
What's the Crew again? Is that the racing
That
game?
was their racing game. 2 games out so far.
Ranching
it's like
simulator.
the whole point of The Crew is it's
2020.
supposed to be open world, where it's like you have like the entirety of the United States.
Kind of like Burnout Paradise.
No, because Burnout Paradise is just Paradise City,
Oh,
where the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
It's you and your crew.
But it's open world though.
No, it's just one city.
Okay.
Open city.
Open city. Excuse me.
a city could be a world if it's like small enough in a game.
No, we call that sandbox.
Okay. I guess he's right. I guess. But
It's not open world if it's in one city, dude.
But it can be an open world in that city.
Tell me an
Can't
open
you?
world game that exists in one city.
You tell me.
I don't
Fuck
think
you.
there are any. That's why I'm telling you to
All
tell
right,
me.
then you tell me.
Back your shit up, bitch.
Okay,
I'm just
sorry.
saying you can't
Sandbox
deal.
game.
You can't deal in
It's a sandbox
absolutes.
game. I absolutely can.
You can't.
Only Sith do it in Renegade for Life.
Paragon
Unfortunately,
forever.
missing from these sales numbers is Rayman, which they included in their image, but didn't say anything other than it was Ubisoft's first big hit title.
When was the last time there was like a
And there's
fresh
40 different versions of it.
Rayman game?
The sequel to Origins, which would have been Legends, right?
I remember I bought a Rayman's game a couple of years ago for my PlayStation. I
On
remember
the
really
Wii- was
enjoying
that on
it
the
too.
Wii U?
It's on like I think that's one of them that went on everything. Ubisoft, the only exclusive ones they did were the Rabbids, which is technically an
Yeah.
offshoot of Rayman, I think.
But that's just
Yeah.
like, that's Switch and stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, there's only one Rabbids game on the Switch. It's Mario versus Rabbids.
Yeah. What are the other ones?
Something.
Oh.
Something. There's I don't like the Rabbids, so I
Sure,
don't
okay.
keep up with them.
Okay.
Further down here, we've also got a few more numbers. Splinter Cell, which they keep talking about and then don't announce a game, has sold 30 million units as a franchise. The Division has 20 million players, which is an older number apparently. Oh, these numbers were not updated, but Watch Dogs 36 million unique players. Ubisoft Club, which has 140 million registered members. So that Ubisoft, man, powerhouse, big studio.
Everybody's
Got a lot
favorite
of stuff.
Steep.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I remember
it
it
sold
was-
horribly, but apparently it's really good.
I think it was free on PlayStation Plus at
Yeah,
one point. I
it
remember
was.
trying playing it and I just wasn't into it.
Yep. Next up, NPD Group's Matt Piscatella is said on Twitter, quote, Destiny 2 Shadowkeep launches tomorrow. Since its debut in September of 2014, Destiny is the number 2 best-selling FPS franchise in US dollar sales, trailing only Call of Duty.
Wow.
That's enormous.
Yeah.
That's crazy because
Big
Call of
fuck
Duty
you.
again is that franchise has been around forever, and it's one of those games we talk about how big Call of Duty is all the time, and Destiny is the second biggest.
It's
And
a fun game.
It's only 2 games deep. It's only, like I said, been around for 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, you would expect like Halo to be at that number 2 spot or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Would
Yeah.
you?
How quickly did they surpass all of these other
Right.
things? Destiny is also the 7th overall best-selling franchise in tracked sales in that same period.
Nice.
So, damn, I that's just pretty incredible to me, and I think it's another one of those things where we talk about the vocal minority on the internet. Now, every time a Destiny update comes out, everyone's like, "Dead game,
Fuck this-
fucking,
yeah.
I'm never playing this again. It's so buggy. Do you people even play your game? I'm tired of blah blah blah." And Bungie's over here like, "Okay,
Hey, man,
we
we're-
hear you."
We're fucking crushing it.
But there's also 49 million other people
That really
that
enjoy
love
this
this
game.
shit and
Yeah.
have not logged off since it came out.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those games, and we don't really think about it that way. But it's, I mean, the numbers
People fucking love
don't
this game,
lie.
yeah.
Next, more Destiny news. Bungie will release at least one non-Destiny game by 2025. It's from Matt Kim over at IGN. The next expansions for Destiny 2 expansion. Come on, Matt. For Destiny 2, Shadowkeep is out this week, and IGN was able to speak with Bungie CEO Pete Parsons about the studio and specifically on its plan to become one of the best entertainment companies in the world by the year 2025. You don't have much time left. Destiny 2 Shadowkeep marks a turning point for the Destiny franchise. It is the first major expansion Bungie has released following its split with ex-partner Activision. Quote, "You think this is going to be a really big stressor, but it's become a really bright, shining spot in our ability to bring products to the marketplace and consumer or customers," Parsons tells IGN in an interview. And thanks to that bright, shining spot, Parsons says that he and Bungie are already working towards some big goals. Quote, "Our vision ultimately through 2025 is to become one of the world's best entertainment companies. To do that," Parsons says, it needs to start with Destiny. One is we need to begin transforming Destiny, the Destiny that we are really believe in, like the thing we think Destiny needs to become. I think you've seen it all in the vid doc, like the single of, I hate when people say like, and it's even worse when you read it. That's just the single evolving world. We need to focus on that. Parsons told IGN that this is something Bungie wants to accomplish by 2025 and that there is a pretty specific path for the company. Man, this article is not written well with all these quotes. You say the one thing and then you just quote the thing he said right after you already said what he said. Matt, you're on my list. We need to build our publishing group, but part of our vision is also to become a multi-franchise entertainment company. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Here's the meat and potatoes. Bungie announced its interest in developing new properties, especially after announcing outside investment from Chinese game company NetEase. But Bungie says it's looking for specific kinds of franchises to build. This article sucks. Okay, anyway, what he's saying is that he wants to get a new game out that's not Destiny by 2025.
Yeah.
From what I read but outside of this poorly written article is that this is part of the deal that NetEase they made with, because they got like a big capital boost from them around the time where they left Activision. I think it was technically just before they split with Activision, but NetEase came in, said, "Hey, here's a bunch of money." Probably some stipulations with that. One of them probably being this non-Destiny game that's supposed to come out by 2025. So, and NetEase is a Chinese company, so we're probably looking at some sort of maybe a mobile-focused game from them if we're not lucky, or if we're lucky, it's like a new franchise, because Bungie up to this point has typically only been a one franchise studio from when they originally did the
Halo.
Even before
Well,
Halo.
yeah, that first-person shooter they did.
Yeah, what was it? It was on PS2. I keep wanting to say Eco, but it wasn't that. It was it'll come in later. But they had a series before that. They only did one game, and then before that they did Marathon on for Mac.
Marathon, that's what I was thinking
Yeah,
of.
and then of course Halo, which they did 5 games before leaving and splitting off and doing Destiny, and then which they've done 2 games. So it'd be interesting if this is something. I mean, obviously Destiny's not going anywhere. They already said they have a 10-year plan for Destiny 2.
Wow.
We're 3 years into that. So
Wow, really? 10 years?
I think 10 was total. So I think, which makes it like 6 or 7 more years.
Yeah, but still,
since
that's...
this launch. But basically, Destiny 3 is not coming out anytime soon. They want this to be like, again, like live service thing where they're going to put expansions
They're
out for
Rainbow
this and
Six
everything.
Sieging it.
Exactly. Yeah. There will be a Destiny 3 down the line, but not for quite some time.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see what this game ends up being, but it's been interesting, especially watching them break off from Activision, because there's always that question of when you look at it, and with all the bad news coming all the time, and especially things with like the way the microtransactions were working in that game and the expansions and how
Not
much was
meeting
coming out.
expectations,
And,
yeah.
was, is this Activision's fault or is this Bungie's fault? And now so far they have been firing on all cylinders since the Activision split. again, New Light is launching tomorrow, which is we'll see how Shadowkeep does. I think reviews are probably going to start coming in probably tonight sometime is when that embargo lifts, I would assume. And then we'll start seeing news about that and how that's going, how the community feels about it. The transition to Steam is going to be a really big deal because, again, you have that subset of people where it's kind of the opposite where all this Epic Game Store exclusive stuff has been going, where backdoor deals were signed and these developers and publishers are like, yeah, we want it on Epic and then we'll put it on Steam later. This is one that's coming to Steam later, but only because big bad Activision made that decision and now they're gone. And Bungie's first thing was, ooh, let's get this on Steam as soon as we can. So I'm sure there's a lot of goodwill there with people being like, I mean, yeah, sure, I'll try it. Whatever. It's free. You can jump right in. Yeah. You don't have to worry about coughing up $60 to try it out for the first time.
And I assume like your account will transfer, like, you know. So
if you, because I already set up all this too, because I have 3 characters on the PS4 version.
Right.
And I was able to upload those characters to their cross-save thing on their web. I think it's literally like
cloud server,
it's like bungie.net/cross-save or something. And so now if I download New Light tomorrow on Xbox One, I could play the characters I have on PS4.
Steam or something, yeah.
I'm on Steam. It's preloaded already. I started downloading it earlier because those preloads are live. Because tomorrow, that's one of the first things I'm doing. I'm going to boot it up and just. I've been dying to try it on PC. Yeah. I just never wanted to spend $60 to play it on Bungie.net or whatever.
I mean, I remember playing the demo when it came out, and I was like, "This fucking feels great."
Yeah,
but I'm not going to get it.
Yeah. So yeah, all the cross-save stuff is implemented already. Like I said, you can bounce back and forth. It is the Final Fantasy 14 style where you get the base game for free essentially, but then. Like if you want to play Shadowkeep, you got to own it on each platform that you want to play it on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. So like my Forsaken stuff will not transfer over. I have to buy Forsaken again on PC, which is fine because I think even that is being dropped down to $25, or for $60 you can get Shadowkeep and Forsaken bundled together with all the annual pass stuff. So there's plenty of options. And even if you're a new Destiny player, you can jump in. There's literally a base game and 2 expansions worth of content to get through before you have to worry about spending money at all. So it's a great opportunity to try it out, and I'm happy that it's working out for them. I've always really loved Bungie. I was, like I've said before, I bought my PS4 for Destiny when that came out. That was the game that finally made me think, ooh, it's time to get a PS4. So yeah, this is all good news as far as I'm concerned, and a new game franchise from them would be very interesting to see.
Oh yeah.
And now our last story before Ethan catches us up on all of the new Apex Season 3 news, since that's what he's been researching all day. Duke Nukem 3D composer sues Randy Pitchford, Gearbox, and Valve, by Samuel Horty over at PC Gamer. Composer Bobby Prince, who wrote music for Doom, Doom 2, Wolfenstein 3D, and Duke Nukem 3D, has filed a lawsuit against Gearbox Software, the company's chief executive, Randy Pitchford, and Valve, claiming that his music was used in the 2016 shooter Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour without his permission and without receiving compensation.
Damn.
In a document submitted to U.S. District Court, Eastern District of Tennessee, Prince's attorneys described how 16 songs he wrote were used in the 1996 shooter Duke Nukem 3D under an agreement with developer Apogee. Quote, Apogee has limited right to use Mr. Prince's music and Duke Nukem 3D in exchange for a royalty equal to $1 per unit sold. Prince had registered the copyrights for the songs. Gearbox purchased certain rights to the Duke Nukem games from Apogee in 2010. Prince claimed the company went on to use his music at Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour, the 2016 update to the shooter, without his permission. Quote, the electronic files for the music within Duke Nukem 3D World Tour include text specifically stating that Mr. Prince owns the copyright to the music and has reserved all rights to the music use. Yet Gearbox incorporated the music into the game without ever contacting Mr. Prince and without clearing the rights expressly mentioned in the electronic files. Furthermore, Prince claimed he contacted Randy Pitchford requesting royalties for the music in the 2016 game, and he was told he would, quote, be taken care of. We're going to take care of you. Send you to Belize. But never received any money. Pitchford also, quote, refused to remove the music from the game, Prince's attorney said. Prince also contacted Valve, he claimed, regarding the distribution of the game on Steam. Quote, Valve ignored a takedown notice, thus waiving any immunity under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, and continued distributing infringing copies of the music despite knowing that Mr. Prince owned the copyrights in the music. Gearbox Software, Gearbox Publishing, Randy Pitchford, and Valve have all been given 21 days to respond to the summons. Fuck Randy Pitchford, man. I swear that guy cannot stay out of the fucking news for being an asshole.
Mm-hmm. They're just going to pay him off. They're just going to settle.
Oh, yeah, this guy's going to get his money. It's an open and shut case. It's his music. He has the rights to it. They didn't buy any kind of rights transition when they purchased Apogee. like they owe this guy fucking money, and the fact that Randy just kind of like was like, yeah, old man, we'll give you your money, we'll make sure you're taken care of, and then just fucked off. And then even weirder that Valve didn't think this was and again, Valve's whole system with how they handle this stuff, I don't know how much you guys know about
sure,
Valve
like
as a
an
company.
intern read the email and was like, oh, okay.
Well, Valve has what they call
don't
like
know.
a flat structure, where there's like one dude who's technically on top, and that's Gabe Newell, and everyone else doesn't know who else is the boss of anybody else.
Really?
So it might be exactly what you said. Like whoever got that email was like,
who do I
Jim,
tell
is
about?
this you? Like, I
do I
don't
tell
know
about
what to
this?
do. And they're just like, we'll look at it later, and they
Yeah.
never looked at it again.
He
So
forwarded it to somebody, and then it just kept getting forwarded. Like, I don't
yeah,
know.
like I mean, these things are always kind of complicated, but at the same time, the fact that he had communication with Randy Pitchford means that Randy knew.
And he told him that he was going to get compensation.
Yeah, like and so
yeah, stupid.
it's just every week I swear I see Randy's name in the whether it's a flash drive with some sort of fucking cam girl on it or some shit getting lost in
That
a
shit
medieval
was
times,
creepy.
or like again all the stuff with there's another piece of news I didn't follow up too much on it with Troy Baker, because he was supposed to be in Borderlands 3 to reprise
Yeah, that was
his character
today's
Rise.
Games Daily's
Yeah.
topic, and I didn't get around to listening to it.
The gist of that was just that, you know, Troy wanted to come back and play Rise again, and he's like, I'm willing to do it, and blah, blah, blah. And Gearbox was just like, okay. And then, like, they were in talks apparently at one point, and then they just never called him back. And apparently it had to do with him being in a union. But then, like, they paid for other union people, like Ashley Birch and a couple other
isn't that-
people.
I mean, maybe it's not the same thing, but same thing with like the original voice Claptrap actor.
So the Claptrap actor, apparently, he just had a falling out with Randy.
Yeah.
And so what happened with that was I think he sued him because Randy was like, I think it was a libel case or something, or slander or some shit. I don't remember. But he basically put out the story that like Randy had been embezzling from the company. And this is an ongoing case.
That's right.
And so he left the company over because this was like Gearbox's ex-accountant, and he just happened. They were a smallish company back then, so he just happened to voice Claptrap, and they liked the way it worked. And he didn't come back for this one because he doesn't work for the company anymore, and they're in ongoing litigation. And then that new DLC that came out for Borderlands 2 before 3 was just a let's shit on the Claptrap actor's voice, or the voice actor in this DLC, because the whole thing is just Claptrap making jokes about himself, but it's clearly referencing the old voice actor.
No shit.
Yeah, so the
pretty
whole
shitty.
thing is just like, again, just Randy's such a fucking douchebag.
Whoa.
And yeah, and so yeah, he's in active litigation
That's
with all that
such a
crap.
salty
And
move.
then yeah, I've never heard anything good about this guy, and it's just terrible.
Wow.
But anyway,
what a dick.
I hope this guy gets his money. He's obviously it's earned. Like
Yeah,
this is,
he's entitled to it for sure.
This is very cut and dry, but
we'll check back in on this.
yeah,
I'm sure we won't, but
hey, I like to fault.
we might.
Ethan,
Yes.
season 3 of Apex Legends is coming out tomorrow.
Yep. It is
What do we know about
2
it?
o'clock. Andrew, just be aware. 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Check
Going
for
on.
that. Check for that update before you even start up the game.
So Andrew will be ready to play sometime around
6.
2 o'clock the next day.
Like 8:30.
Probably 6-ish.
6-ish.
Yeah, PM.
I'm hearing different numbers from you guys.
Wait, what did you say?
I said 8:30.
Oh, fuck.
That's even worse. Yeah.
He's going to be in bed by then.
No, so there, I mean, I just saw
Sorry, I like to decompress after work.
there's some map. Like you actually see them on the ground running around in the map. Some of Crypto's ability. There's an overshot of the map, like when
New weapons.
No, they didn't show anything about. But we only
Yeah,
have.
they did. That trailer, the one where
No, this is all new footage of like the actual like
Okay.
this is like them in the first person.
Yeah, because
view.
another new game. This is separate from the trailer. This is like a gameplay
this,
video.
Yeah, this
that
is literally
came out today.
gameplay
Yeah.
of like a character in the POV screen with your ability and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and him walking on the map, like shooting people and looking around and using
or maybe that was his old.
using Crypto's ability, like with the little hover drone, basically, and you
Mm-hmm.
can scout where people are and ping them with the ping system. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to be fucking OP as shit with like certain people.
Well, I'm sure it was. I mean, is he going to be like a support character like Bloodhound?
I'm not specific. I don't know that specifically, but I hope he's like a tracker. Yeah, because
Because there's only one in the game.
he's the only one. So.
Yeah.
Or it is the only one, whatever. But yeah, so and then we have when you press like the middle button screen that shows up your map, like we got that overview look at it too.
Oh,
so,
nice.
So I don't know, I'm excited.
Did they show like the rewards yet? Like they did for season 1, where it's just like here's a full list of
Not
like
yet.
all the rewards.
Battle Pass
None of that
stuff? No, not yet. No, that's all probably just.
Does it
gonna
even
be-
matter to you at this point? Or are you going to get it anyway?
No, I'm gonna look through it I'm definitely gonna look through it to see what. I hope it's like.
And then he's gonna get it.
I hope they give you. You can look at all of it before you buy it again, like they did with the last one. So,
Yeah.
But
Did they do that same thing for 2, where they showed you all the rewards?
I don't remember the first one.
I don't remember.
I didn't
The
play.
first one was a big deal because it was their first season pass. And so you could go on their website and see
I didn't
like
play
all of them.
season 1.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the thing. I only played season 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
I might get
I'm
into
gonna
this
buy
one.
crypto regardless. And
Oh,
then,
it's a paid one. He's not like a free character.
No,
No,
you
you gotta
probably have
like,
to buy him.
Yeah.
But
unless you have enough in-game currency saved
if
up.
you've been playing though,
Did you have to buy the last girl?
Yeah.
Oh, you did because I don't
Yeah.
have her. That's
Watson,
right.
and I
Watson.
bought so the thing about the characters is you can buy them with the in-game currency that like is the most abundant. Like I have 400,000 of like the red ones because
Yeah,
you
it's 'cause
can't.
you have not stopped playing.
No. These ones you get a lot. Like you can't use them for a lot for everything. For a lot of the good stuff you can't use them for, but you can use them to unlock
I
characters.
remember which they were.
Yeah. So you probably have a lot of those too.
I don't think I do because I didn't play nearly. Like I didn't play nearly as much.
These,
as
but you get
said you're
these-
almost rank 100.
No, I'm rank
He's
110.
110.
Still
He
don't have
finishes
the
110.
trophy
I'm rank
for 50.
I'm rank 110.
I
got
have not played nearly as much as you guys.
No, with like the regular levels, yeah, no, that I maxed out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so you maxed out the regular levels and then on the battle pass?
Yeah, I
you
got
were
maxed out the battle
literally
pass as well.
Did not,
no, I don't play that much.
I did not buy the battle pass, and I made it to level 110 in less than what there was like 6 days left in the battle pass before. Like it took me the whole battle pass.
I want to delete every message in the Slack except for the ones. There's got to be a script that'll let me do this, except for the ones that say Apex? Question mark?
Apex, but a lot I think will be from Drew to me, not necessarily. Like
It's
I pay
for-
a
I
lot.
think we're 50-50 on
I guys
that.
go both
I-
ways.
yeah,
I'm not
true.
saying that one or the other.
Don't put that evil on me,
I'm
Ricky
just saying
Bobby.
I play a lot by myself more because I get home before Drew does. But
Also, how you have time to play both World of Warcraft and Apex, and then nothing else.
because World of Warcraft wasn't out at the beginning of the season.
Oh, that's
why.
right. That's right. Yeah.
It's a lot
So-
harder now.
Did it show off? Do we know anything about like Crypto's ult or anything?
I mean, I don't know if that's his ult or if that's his like
Which one?
his clicker one. Like the drone.
Oh, well, because I was thinking as well, because whenever I said new weapons, remember in the trailer, whenever they land on the train and
Yeah, the
everything?
charge rifle.
Yeah, charge rifle.
That's the only new one that we get. Though.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if that's like,
No, they don't-
do you
he's-
think that'll
he's got
be
like
his
a-
like ult that'll just like pull out and like,
No, that's like a new.
That's
That's
a
like
new
a
weapon.
new
Okay.
drop probably weapon,
Okay.
like the L Star or the Kraber or something.
okay,
Yeah.
or the Mastiff or something? Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's just like a new weapon, which would be even cooler because we haven't gotten it. We didn't get a new weapon for the.
Season 2.
Yeah, it was just the
I don't think we've gotten a new weapon since.
not like a standard new, like just mixed in with everything else.
Oh, yeah, because we
No.
got the L Star in Season 2.
yeah. Yeah, which was kind of a letdown for me.
I liked the L Star. When it first came out, I was fucking destroying
Isn't that the
people.
one that's just like sprays and it like an energy weapon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an energy.
I didn't like that one
rifle.
either. Too much recoil.
Yeah.
Oh, I was destroying people with that thing.
I feel like it was only any good if you were like super close. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that is for sure true.
I didn't like that because at that point I'd rather just have the Mastiff.
God,
Mastiff is
I'm
fun.
hit and miss on the Mastiff. I was playing last night, and I swear to God, I decked some dude
To
four
be fair,
times.
you're hit and miss with every gun.
Yeah.
You're not 100% accurate.
About
with it.
50-50. You know, you have 50-50 chance hitting him.
Well, boys, I think that's going to wrap it up for us
I wanted to
today
ask Drew something else.
on the
Yeah.
episode where Ethan's going to ask Drew one more thing.
Drew, did you check out that Sturgill Simpson thing on Netflix?
I haven't yet because I do like Sturgill Simpson.
What is this? I don't even know. I saw her.
Sturgill
y'all said something
Simpson
about it the other
is
day and I
like
was so lost.
He's like an alt country dude.
Yes,
and
yeah.
but he's not like.
No,
but
it's,
he's not-
it's more rock. Like honestly, like
I mean,
it's,
his last album had some like strong blues and funk influence as well. So he kind of
True.
he kind of like
you
messes us
say
around.
that,
and his,
but I really enjoyed his music, and you know I am.
roll.
Well, so it's don't listen to what Netflix has as like the tagline because it's very clickbaity. It's a literal like it's his album, but then they have an anime on like the background going with it. I don't know. It was dope.
so I mean, it's kind of almost a cue like
It was kind of. I thought it was like
you know, like the Daft Punk movie.
yes, something like that, like equipped to just like an anime musical
Yeah.
type deal. Like it was very cool. The movie that they have with it is really awesome.
Is there any words in the movie, or is it
Nope,
just
it's
okay?
all just the album, which
That's
is
cool.
Which
I'm
is
definitely
so
gonna
cool.
check it out
Yeah.
for sure.
And the first like the first song is like an intro song.
Yeah.
There's no music. It's just like him kind of just getting into it. And then
Okay.
the second
well, that is music.
but there's no I'm sorry, there's no vocals.
Yeah, it's just an instrumental.
Shut up. I hate you.
The shit you two say.
But the first two like songs where there's actual like him
Lyrics.
singing and stuff. Thank you. I was not a music major, and I don't claim to know anything about music.
Clearly.
Yeah. Well, clearly. And
Too far away from the microphone.
I got you. Yeah.
the first two songs on his album are the first three songs.
Really good.
Yeah, like it's really good, and the stuff they have up with it.
That was
like
something
a
I
mega
had.
stuffed.
I had trouble with the Oreo cookies. Was anytime you bit into them, it just squirts out to the side.
Oh my god. Yeah. So I'm glad. I really want you to check that out because it was a lot of fun.
And you should definitely go back and listen to his later albums because A Sailor's Guide to Earth is really good. It's about him having his first son. Even Meta Modern Sounds and Country Music is really good.
His
I think you'll
album
like that
names were
one.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll maybe go back and check out his other stuff. But
You should.
Sound and Fury was really dope. Even like the later stuff is really cool. But you're right. There's a lot of jazzy and bluesy stuff later on in the middle of the album.
Yeah.
It's really good though. Like
It's just really surprising to me
nice
because you
change.
don't talk about music.
I
ever.
know. So when I bring something up, maybe people should listen.
No, because the last thing you brought up was Fall Out Boy. Like that was the last time you cared about music. So it's not like there's some like super high bar.
That's not necessarily true.
Okay.
But
What was the last one?
I don't know.
The last band you were
I
really
don't
into?
know, but
because
like-
there's been two. Fallout Boy.
Fallout
Boy.
The Fallout
It's
Boxes.
Virgil Simpson. Those are the two musicians musical
I
artists you've ever
don't
listened
bring up or talk about music at all. So when I do,
Usually it's me and Travis that are all
People
bringing
should
up
pay
to.
music.
Ethan, how do you feel about Gautier?
I don't know. I don't even know what that is. So
Oh, he's just somebody you used to know.
jokes on you. So I got that. Hilarious.
Actually, I watched that music video again for the
Yeah.
first time in forever the other day.
Right.
Really good music video.
Yeah, it's not a bad music video. I remember he was on the ACL lineup one year whenever I was still going, and my brother went to go to the show, and he was just like, "That was a bad concert."
All right. Well, this time we really got to end it.
Yeah,
You're gonna
let's end
shout
it.
out to Burger Joint though.
Oh yeah, Burger Joint was great.
There you go.
Houston
Top,
staple.
That was very
top
good.
Shake Shack
They
in
were
our
very-
go-to burger
That
place.
is officially
Oh,
our
really?
new burger place. Is
Okay.
the Burger Joint.
Oh yeah, better prices. The fries were killer. Bigger burger. I got the mushroom burger.
Don't have to
Oh,
do a
nice.
double
Delicious.
anymore. You can do one single, and it's so good. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, this has been episode 18 of the Apps on My Podcast.
Donate.
I was your
like,
host,
subscribe.
Travis Stockton. With me, as always, is Andrew Crandell and Ethan Newbolt.
Hey,
At Ray Lachar Lazard and at Andrew Loves Video Games at Souls Bjorn, respectively. If you like the episode, be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube, our Spotify's, our iTunes. Leave the reviews. Leave the comments.
give us money.
Follow the Instagrams. Retweet the tweets. Check out the Facebooks and Facebook your friends. And give Ethan money.
Come back next week. Also,
He likes those burgers, and we got to keep feeding the. We got to feed the beast.
my number
Feed
one.
the beast.
My number one food.
He had a hamburger and half an order of fries. Walks into the house, asks for 4 Oreo cookies and a glass of milk, and,
And
then
then wants a PB&J.
yeah,
I didn't make the PB&J.
but you wanted it.
I feel like you're going to make it before you leave.
No, I got
A
PB&J.
roadie.
PB&J.
Drew, you got that roadie PB&J? Just throws a Ziploc bag at it.
I have PB&J at home. No, it's fine.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We love you. Take it easy.
Bye.